Hapa kwa comments mmekataa BBI bana. Na hamsemi sababu, so kuelewa inakuwa ni ngumu kiasi. James alienda wapi? Nilijua akisupport BBI kwisha. Asante Esther Mudhuure. Baba akisema left ni left, akisema right ni right. Maoni yake Fabian Adriano. We. Nelson aje?
Vipi sana bro, vipi?
Umepotea bwana wiki kama 3. Ulikuwa na COVID?
Nimekuwa na my issues bwana, nilienda holiday, nikatoka holiday, nikaenda matanga home, nikatoka home, sasa nimerudi.
Wiki kama 3. Ulikuwa na COVID?
Nimekuwa na my issues bwana, nilienda holiday, nikatoka holiday, nikaenda.
Hiyo ni ngumu bwana.
Sasa niko back, nimerudi kwa mpigo. I was on the show yesterday. Ayaga told us that all MCAs of Siaya County are graduates of degree.
Hadi wale walipitisha BBI bila kusoma. Wote ni graduates.
Yes, actually that was the reason as to why, hiyo ndio ilikuwa reason ya Ayaga as to why those people walipitisha BBI haraka hivyo juu. Wow, they never needed 2 weeks or any days, more days to read it or even to conduct a public participation. A degree graduate does not need time to go through things. They think faster and they reason by themselves so fast.
But walisema eti baba alishasoma. So anything baba read before is okay.
Put that aside. I told him I know 3 guys who are my personal friends with the diploma certificates there, and he was like, that one is not in Siaya.
Ayaga anakuanga funny, but it is all right. Mito CDE ni aje? Okay, Jakes. Hello, Jakes.
Ni aje?
Poa sana bana.
Pole, kuna kitu nilikuwa ngangana kumalizia ndio naona niko behind 10. Mko aje Duke, mambo, Nelson, Mito, we Clinton manze vipi?
Mimi niko poa.
Unafaa apologize, tumeanza late jo saa 4.
Ya wajua bana, mimi niliama lakini hawajaniwekea vitu hapa bana. Hata net nikitaka lazima ni book appointment ya net bana. So, eti kama asifundi ni mtu mmoja tu. So,
Rudi Kenya
mpaka Tuesday.
Okay.
Ndio nitakuwa na net.
Unaambia urudi Kenya jamaa.
Na ninaishi kwa Waturuki bana. Hakuna kushare net na jirani.
Kwani uko
inakuwa ni ngumu.
Ati?
Kwani uko bathroom muonekani leo?
Nione kama ninaonekana sasa. Niko napatikana.
Bana hauonekani kwa video bana.
Niko unajua. Niliona mtu Nelson, niliona mtu kwa koti akisema president anaakilishwa na lawyer, so mimi naakilishwa na photo.
Na rais anatembea sana Jakes.
Nakwambia kuna jamaa leo amenibamba anaitwa Isaac, hiyo jina ya pili na ni nice. Huyo jamaa amekula prezo wetu kama njugu kwa mfuko. Ameni nice. Nelson, huyo jamaa umemuonaje?
Sijaona kitu amesema. I normally don't read comments a lot.
Si comments, kumsikiza achana na comments.
Kotini.
Yeah, the guy called Isaac or sijui Oliache or sijui nani.
The guy who was having some Googles that like for scholars, eh?
No, the guy who was wearing an African attire, kitenge thing. na kofia.
Oh. The guy was smart. Well articulate,
brilliant.
Precise, and he was not talking anything far from the truth. So he did his good.
Actually, he did us justice. He provided serious
was he talking about the law, or he was just an eloquent speaker? Mnanishangaza nyinyi, mnanishangaza mkiona PLO kwa sababu ya kizungu. Jamani lawyer, jamani nakuja na Afrika na hata aheshimu rais. Come on.
Mr. Seth, for your information, a court of law is not a place of eloquency and and language prowess. It is a place of argument based on the law and constitution.
How did he prove? What kind of law did he what kind of evidence did he table before the panel? He was only talking a few things, and the guy just proved to us that he is against President Uhuru. Those are Miguna's caliber.
But alienda hapo kuonesha he's against what the president was doing.
When you watch that show again, you will see how he proved. You will hear his argument.
Skiza Githu Muigai anasema nini? Poor lawyers ni wale ambao wana dwell on the spirit but not the real thing. Lord akina hao wa Afrika na taya wanakuja kushtua wa Kenya tu kwa Afrika na taya.
Mr. Seth, what do you know about the spirit of the law yourself? Other than what Githu said, what do you know about the spirit of the law?
So tell me about the letter of the law. Tell me about the letter of the law. You know, those people, they were just talking without proving anything.
Okay, you Mr. Seth, tell us something. What do you know about the spirit of the law other than what Githu said?
Guys, wajua kuna vitu mnaongelea hata mimi
I'm quoting from Githu. You're asking me what? I'm quoting from Githu. And I do agree with him.
But
mwafuatanga tu bandera hivyo. Sikizeni substance kile kweli, ukiangalia inatoka kwa sheria, si kwamba mtu anaenda hapo na nguo ya Afrika alafu anaanza kuongea na mkono kukashifu rais. Come on.
Hey, Seth, yeah, the emotions in news.
Afadhali yule nani yule, the president of the Law Society of Kenya. It was very interesting. The guy who is good. Yes, but not this one anakuja na madharau bana.
But he's not a lawyer. He was speaking not from law.
Remember, Mr. Seth? What did Harvey say that you remember up to now?
Sasa wewe umekuja kuni green.
Nelson.
Okay. BBI haijakufa. BBI is alive and kicking.
Your depression is serious.
My depression.
Hey bro, kunywa maji bwana.
Maji hakuna hapa kwangu bwana. Maji hakuna kwangu hapa.
Pole.
Why should I do that? BBI is alive. BBI is alive.
Already kuna away goal na High Court. Sasa mlifaa mfunge karibu bao 10. Sasa unajua ile inakuchanganya.
Tumefunga
ngapi? Wamefunga.
But we skiza ngoja uamuzi. I think this month, end of this month, I don't know, utakubali reggae iko.
Hapo sasa ndio utajua kumbe kitenge ina maana.
Kitenge hata mimi niko nayo nikisema haleluya. Haleluya, mapepo yanatoroka tu.
Heshimu kitenge.
Kitenge ni nguo bwana.
Ilikuwa imejaa leo kizungu.
Emotions. Emotions. Naona huyo mwana Kenya huyo. Huyo mwana Kenya pia anataka kudebate huyo mtoto huyo. Nelson.
Anasimama kwa niaba ya babake.
Wako kinyozi ama kwa nyumba. Wako kinyozi ama kwa nyumba.
Hata mimi nashangaa sasa.
Nelson.
Yes sir.
Sasa bwana, kwa nini tuheshimu kitenge bwana? Tusaidie.
Kwa nini tuheshimu kitenge? Cha mwanzo kabisa unafaa ujue ya kwamba kitenge inatufanya tujitambulishe sisi wenyewe kama Waafrika, na Mwafrika hafai kukua msema uongo. Sisi tulizaliwa kuwa watu wa kusema ukweli. Isipokuwa corruption ndio imekuja ikatujaza akili, ndipo tukaanza kusema uongo.
Seth, baada hiyo kitenge kutoka, uliona vile nguo hiyo ya black ya Orengo ilifade. Alitoka ikiwa karibu hiyo
Orengo na Githu ni guru bwana. Hapo Orengo na Githu ni guru. Umeona? Hapo wameshine sana. Yule mtu ambaye ashana mimi but the worst performer is the kitenge guy. Manake mimi ni matu emotions.
You know the problem with him was or rather the good thing with him was yeye alikuwa anaongea like a layman. Yeye si mwanasheria, so ndio unaona anaulizwa, yeye alikuwa anajitetea kama yeye venye wewe unaweza enda kotini upeo nafasi uongeleshe koti.
Asante kwa kuniarifu hiyo. Kujua mimi nilikuwa niko busy naangalia news. I don't know what to go. I thought he was a barrister.
Hapana.
Kumbe yeye ni,
lakini alicheza kama yeye. Unajua alisema ati alipoona speech ya prezo ya Jamhuri ya date 12 baada ya kukasirika akaenda kotini.
Miguna wako wengi bana.
Na sio yeye tu, tuko wengi huko nyuma ya tent. Ni vile tu pesa hazitoshi kufika huko juu.
Ndio sasa BBI inataka pesa ifike juu huko ikiteremka chini.
Unajua ikitufikia tutatumia hiyo bottom, tukishafika top. Sasa ndio utaanza kuona majina serious huko kotini.
Sasa sio mwambie Nelson huyu anakusikia vizuri sana hapo.
Nelson bado hajaamua. Ukiona ile matokeo ya tifa ya BBI, yeye kwa mangu wale bado undecided, ako hapo katikati.
Ni kama Jakoredo huyo.
Jakoredo kwa mangu.
Jamaa haeleweki huyo Jakoredo huyo. Haeleweki huyo.
Hizi ni zile kurua inaharibika, unajua?
Si ndio?
Atatik mara 2.
Sasa mwajua nini? Say na Jakes. Acha niwaambie kitu. Mnajifanya mmeconcentrate sana kwa BBI na kuna other issues.
Kama gani?
My party leader is vying for the presidency.
His Excellency.
His Excellency.
Party leader wako ni nani? Wewe una party vile?
Anaitwa Obado.
Acha nimseme.
Obado
So my party leader is on the race.
Serikali Matio.
Na pia another issue that is arising.
Na leo watu wa Ruto ni wengi hapa.
Mna deconstruct president wakati ako away. Mbona akiwa home amfanyagi hivyo?
Ni preparation tu, akifika atakuta mbogi moto sana ya kumdeconstruct vizuri.
Mbogi moto.
na anatembea bwana. Juzi nilimuona akiaddress nation. Kidogo kuamka hivi asubuhi ako na Macron.
Wacha tembee, babake aliogopa kusafiri. Aliogopa ndege, akiona ndege anakimbia kama mtoto mdogo.
Kulala hivi kuamka tena ako Zambia. Jamani.
So unajua babake alikuwa ameogopa ndege.
Seth, nikuulize. Wenye wameiweka August 20 ndio watatoa matokeo. Haoni kama hiyo inaashiria vitu mingi already?
Nakwambia hapo kweli kuna vitu vingi kweli.
Tarehe 20 ni baada ya date ya uchaguzi, which is date 9. Already shaingia
lakini kwangu bila hata kama kuna BBI maisha itaendelea bwana. Kama kawaida Biblia ilipatia chakula.
Omena tutakula, samaki tutamumunya, hatuna wasi.
Ndio.
Lakini bana wangeweka hivi karibuni ndio kama kuna hopes tujue mapema. Lakini kama walituambia kuna hopes, date 20 ni mbali.
Hao watu wenye wameka giza, Tom, President na Bobby. President, fungua picha hata kama we ni Uhuru ine rais.
Koredo siwezi nikaka picha yangu, watu wa Ruto ni wengi hapa.
Unajua wale ambao watu picha yao ni wachawi, wanafikiri picha yao itapelekwa kwa altars.
Watu wa Ruto ni wengi.
Sasa watu wa Ruto tunakulanga picha za watu.
Tunakula picha.
Bobby, kwani umekula fea?
Hapana, bado umejua nawasikiza na naona hii boli inaendelea hapa ya Euro.
Oh, by the way,
August 20 is my birthday. Sawa kijana. Blessed Dan.
Utapewa birthday gift.
Naona Blessed Dan hapo.
By the way, hata mimi na turn 19 hiyo 20th August.
Unafanya nini hapa bwana? 19.
Jamaa anachoma.
Nimesema na turn, nimesema ngapi?
19.
Kumbe Jacqueline ni underage.
Ananisikiza vizuri.
Mwanangu Jacqueline, mwanangu.
Jake, it's not like I'm undecided on the BBI thing. The thing is, I'm being objective with my reasoning. I'm just open-minded of the fact that I do appreciate the fact that the bill into totality is not that bad, and the bill is not that good. And for me, questioning the timing for the country, do we need the BBI or do we need to secure our economy? Do we need to give our young people jobs? Do we need to have money in the pocket? Do we need food? Or we need BBI? You get?
Umesahau vaccine, bro.
The vaccine, we also have corona here we are dealing with, okay?
President is here. President has come.
The president is here.
Amekuwa poked, amekuwa smoked out.
Yes, Bobby.
Wewe unalia na mambo ya vaccine, mbona usikondem mambo ya master wenyu kuita marali kubwa na kuna corona?
Hakuna mtu ajaita rally, bro. Kila mtu leo alikuwa mahali kulikuwa na umati. Baba alikuwa Nyeri.
Baba ilikuwa control, ilikuwa only invited guest.
Hakuna invited guest. Wewe hukuona wakidance, nobody can stop reggae. Wewe uliona kama waleka social distance ama walikaribiana kama
wewe, na ukisikia tu pale baba yuko lazima ubebe sauti juu. Ukisikia tu jina baba lazima ulete ukali.
Mr. President Najek, two wrongs does not make a right. If Baba had a group, Ruto had a group, we have Corona, the fourth wave is coming, all these people are doing a wrong thing.
Okay? They should be arrested and this country should be disbanded.
The expense
and let people go home. And let people go home.
I think we should.
Wait, Tom, the president is about to make a speech. Wacha tukubale, Mr. President, go ahead.
Hello, how are you?
We are fine.
Naona mnapiga kelele sana kuhusu huyu Mr. Raila na Ruto.
Hatujaanza ni kukaribishana.
Hatupigi kelele, tunazungumza bwana.
Hatujaanza hata.
Kitu yenye tunastahili kuongea na kuweka mkazo ni kwamba wakati ule wanaenda kwa crowd zao, the first speech ya kuinsist wananchi wadunge shindano. That's the first speech. then wanaleta hizo speech zao, wote wafanye hivyo. Kwa hakuna vile
Mr. President, mbona ulitoa speech hafifu juzi? Tulingoja utupatie vitu za maana, vidonge moto vile utatusaidia. Ulirudia tu stories za kawaida na speech yenye ulisoma hata Kanzedina angesoma na tungeelewa tu. Hakukuwa kitu ilikulazimisha wewe kusoma hiyo speech.
Clinton anachoma sana yawa.
Sasa amechoka na hii kazi. Unaona sasa anatembea tu. Amesema sasa amewaachia inchi mfanye vile mtafanya. Amechoka.
Anatoa speech zingine zenye hata mimi ningesoma tu, si haikuwa lazima yeye asome.
Amekuwa confused. Sasa anaona kila mtu anachapa pandi yake, Sasa yeye amesema ataenda raundi zake huko. Kila mtu afanya na inchi yenu mfanye sasa.
Hiyo speech ilikuwa hafifu. Kwa zote zenye mai toa.
Mimi mwenyewe niliangalia nikashindwa.
Kwa zote zenye mai toa, hii haikuwa necessary.
Kabisa.
Hiyo nilikuwa speech ya moto sana. It was the best ever.
What is this?
Wow, Decoredo.
Ametembelewa. Kuna mgeni amekuja uninvited
Amefungwa. Sijui wa Italy, sijui wa France. Wewe.
Bao mbili Bao mbili kwa nunge. Decoredo pole bwana. Belgium
wamefungwa.
Wamefungwa.
Wameumwa na umbu.
Mbili kavu na tujaenda half time.
Ameumwa na umbu bwana. Hiyo makofi
hiyo bao vile imeingia vizuri sana. Huyo jamaa amefunga vizuri. Decoredo anza show. At least sasa I think kila mtu akosaa.
Yes. Poleni sana bana. Kumbe siku zima mic na huyu jamaa anatukosea hapa.
Amefunga.
Anafunga bao ingine. Yaani player yote kutoka Chelsea sijui. Huyu keeper alitoka Chelsea. They can't perform.
Wachana na the Blues bwana. Wachana na the Blues.
They can't perform.
The pride of England.
Sawa. Anza show bro.
So guys.
Decoredo.
Yes.
Decoredo.
Yes.
Nina kitu hapa na stali kusema kabla mjaanza, na ni maombi yangu tafadhali.
Leta sura bana, leta sura. Unaweza sema kitu mbaya tukose tushindwe kukutrace.
Hapana, umejadili tutakwambia. Wacha tunaambia mimi kwa tu kusema haraka mazi, tafadhali jaribuni mcontrol wale wanawake wawili wafanyagishwe na kwa boring.
Wanawake wawili unamaanisha nini?
Sijui uitwa nani ule uingia hapa na piga kelele paka tunatoroka.
Ungekuwa umemkram jina alafu unatuambia tunamcontrol.
Hapana, moja waone changanya between Nancy na Ashley.
So Ashley utampata tu kama sio sasa ni sasa hivi.
Bro, chunga kugonga mzinga wa nyuki.
Hapana, lakini lazima mcontrol. Lazima patie mtu chance, mtu ajiexpress, akishamaliza ndo mtu ndakuja aongee. Lakini hiyo kila sana kata tu sio mzuri.
So Ashley respond Ashley.
Waache kila mtu amalize ndo waongee, lakini kelele kila saa unafanya nechenda kwa boring.
Ashley.
Kuna ka penalty nakwambia
Yes. I'm not going to engage in that. That's not the debate I'm here for. So,
okay, thank you.
Okay, it was not a debate, it was suggestion. It was suggestion.
Okay,
it was not a debate.
Thank you, Bobby.
Kadugo vek. Veta ege po internet yes na kebet fault versus me. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank Bobby.
You, Bobby.
Okay, viska sina kesenara bare go vek. Yeah. Poleni kuna mtoto ananisumbua hapa. Poleni.
So Bobby.
Yeah.
Excuse me Bobby.
Yeah.
Kama kuna shida, maybe mlidisagree na mtu kwa show. Mnafaa kudisagree in a mature way, sawa? Lakini kutuambia kwamba to control wale wanawake wawili. It's not fair.
Okay. And that person is very sexy because They have not mentioned Ayaga. Ayaga is also, but you don't come here and waste our time and bring us things that don't make sense. Don't bring lies that you know are lies. That's the only time I open my mouth and say something. But when we cannot sit here 5 minutes when you're lying to us. Just come and be factual. Let us do a debate that is mature and honest.
Okay, so
and I will wait for my turn.
You, but give people time to finish. I agree with you, but give
when
them
you're
time
lying, when you are lying, I will not give you time to finish.
I think
because you're wasting my time. That's when I interject and tell you, you tell us things that are factual or you get out.
Just to weigh in, Bobby could be right, but the manner in which he's putting his points across is a little bit rude and unstyled.
Yeah.
And,
I'm sorry if you, okay, I'm sorry. Come on, I'm sorry.
Ashley is also right, but I just want to remind Ashley that no one has the monopoly or truthometer. And if at all I think that my opinion is the only truth that I want to subscribe to, it's only respectful enough to give me time to finish up when you can counterattack it. We all know
Nelson.
And then you can always give him the truth that you think that is truth and that is also fathomable. But again, we also need to exercise self-respect when we are debating so that the maturity that she's talking about can also prevail. But on the other side, I think Bob is making sense because Nancy do not give people chance to finish their points. I think there is no one who owns the monopoly of knowledge or other contribution. And Bob is making sense on that.
Nelson, now that we have laid the ground rules,
Mtembe said he has no problem. Last week, somebody was removed and they were returned and they were not being very nice. I have always been decent. I have never abused anybody on this show. That is what we should be asking. But when I interject, the owner of the program has no problem with that, Bobby. For your information, I have the permission to interject when I want.
Nelson.
No.
Bobby Nelson, kidogo tu. Because to be fair to the people who are watching, unajua some of these things tutaweza result kimpango tu.
Okay,
now that we have laid the ground rules. Na unajua siku hizi bundles zimeongezewa tax, Bobby, Wacha tuwe sensitive, tusishindwe kustream mpaka mwisho. Anyway, so to everyone joining us, before I hand it over to Clinton, thank you for joining us. Randall, we see you. Julie Koech, we see you. Well done, Lagat. Thank you for joining us. Milka, thank you for being part of the panel. We see you. Tom, thank you for coming in today as well. Duke, we can see you. Mr. President, Asante Sana. Ashley, my dear, thank you for joining us. Honorable Emmanuel Chebor Lagat, we see you. Emmanuel Kibet, we see you. Sila Mayo, we see you. And everyone else. Watu wameingia, jeshi kubwa, thank you so much. Karibuni sana. As we start, may we do it well. Yes, Bobby. Bobby, mute your mic if you're not communicating through this.
Okay, sawa, mute.
So, Clinton, take it over. Introduce the motion so that we can go ahead.
Okay, asante Jex. Hussein Saif hapo kwa comment section. Asante sana kwa maoni yako, lakini isho huwa inaendelea bila wewe. Kesho itakuwa bila wewe. Na saizi pia inaweza endelea bila wewe. Allow me to block you and you can do other things. Yes. So guys, topic yetu ya leo ni kwamba William Ruto holds another massive rally in Nairobi. Baba pia tunaarifiwa amekuwa na yake Central. Alafu pia kuna hiyo BBI, hiyo discussion yote. Tunaweza iangalia from yanze mpaka leo. Umeonaje hizo submissions? How do you expect the outcome of whatever that is before court? So you can just deliberate. Alafu maamuzi yakitolewa tutarudi hapa tuseme kwamba I told you this, we won. I told you this, we lost. And those are some of the engagements that we're gonna have in the next couple of hours. Jex, wajua kesho ni weekend. Maybe tutaenda nyuma ya tent kama kawa, si ndio?
Ni sawa.
Tutaenda nyuma ya tent kama show imeisha. So maybe leo tutakuwa na watu wengi, maybe kama hawatakuwa wamelala.
Okay.
So without much ado, let me start. Milka.
Yes.
Ni aje?
Poa, sasa. Hello.
Poa sana. Tumekukaribisha.
By the way, uko na mtoto mcute.
Thank you. Aki nimekuwa nikitaka kujoin hapa, even it's my husband who's assisting me. So thank you guys.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Ukiona Tom ana smile, amebambika na mtoi.
Thank you. Say hi.
Go ahead, Milka.
Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to introduce myself, or what is happening?
Yeah, you
Sawa,
introduce
alafu
yourself, una watch
game.
kutoka wapi, alafu unachangia mada. I think that will be okay.
But okay. Before nijiintroduce, sijasikia vizuri the topic of today.
Yes.
So kindly, would you
tunasema Ruto ame hold rally, or rather most of the politicians today walikuwa up and about despite us being in COVID. And then also your take now that both sides have presented their issues before the appellate court. What is your take? Unaonaje, what stood out for you in the entire process?
Okay, so my name is Milka Ongare from Nairobi, 23 years. And my take on the topic is, okay, itakuwa a bit harsh to some people, but me, I always say this, yeah? Unless the people stand up for themselves, because utapata wenye wanaumia sana ni middle class people na the lower class people. Umeona? Kama umefungiwa duka yako by 10, ama mnaambiwa msikwe na gathering mahali popote. Unaona? And you know very well, you voted for a person, na sasa nasemaje, especially when you wanna complain. Let me be honest, you people. The Kikuyu tribe, okay? And they used to say, tulitoka. You get it? And now they're the ones complaining, saying there are people walimgeuka. Wao ukigeukwa na mtu unafanyangaje? Kama mlitoka kumsherekea the winning, Saya anakuja kukugeuka. Why are you standing his bullshit? That's the fact. Awezi entertain such thing. So kama kuna gathering mahali popote wanaifanya, na sisi kama wananchi tunaiona, iko like we need to speak up. Sisi venye tumenyamaza, ndio maana tunaendelea kunyanyaswa hivi. If you don't speak up, how will they know? They don't know. Or maybe they know, they ignore it, because we just tunaenda na mwenendo wao. Tunaambiwa tuvuke barabara tunaenda. So unless you speak up, unless you say no, you will see the change. If you don't speak up, tutaendelea tu kukaa hivyo tu. That is my take.
Okay. So now what about the BBI, the process vile ilianza kotini? What can you say?
What I can say is, when it comes to BBI, kuna some things zenye haziko right about it, about the bill. Unaona? The way it was pushed forward, the way it was forced upon the people, and the way sijui venye nitaiweka. I'm really trying to be soft.
Cheza tu kama wewe, Milka.
Yeah. Okay, kuna vitu zingine ni ukweli kwa hiyo BBI. Kama every tribe wana need kukalia the presidential seat, that one everybody must agree to it.
Okay.
But some other things, they are not true, it's not right. So hiyo ni 50-50, and as we all know, ishapitishwa, as long as Uhuru na Raila wako in it together, whether we make noise or not.
Okay.
Pardon?
Lewis, mute your mic. Lewis. Go ahead, Milka.
As long as Uhuru na Raila wako pamoja, itapita. Because this guy, Mr. Raila, said this, yeah? I remember after the elections, this Jubilee train, they were insulting him, they were saying bad things to him, but this is what he told them, and he reminded them, he told them, I can't say in his words correctly, but I'm just going to put it the way I interpreted it. He said, you people, I'm going to divide you people and you're going to remember me. That's what he said. The BBI is there to make sure, first of all, Ruto not to be on the seat. Second of all, to make sure that he wins. This thing is all for Raila. It's all for Raila's sake. You might not believe it, but Baba alisema na aliwaambia. Na ni yeye alisema. Remember, before the handshake, Raila stood and said, msinunue vitu, sijui Brookside, sijui wapi. All of a sudden aliitwa kando na ikakuwa handshake. So it's political na imeshapita, whether we like it or not. I don't know why we are arguing. Iko. So mwenye anaweza pinga pinge, but I don't think there's much to say.
Nikuulize, hiyo tarehe yenye imewekwa huoni kama ni mbali sana?
Nini tarehe?
Tarehe ya maamuzi ni 20th of August. Huoni kama ni mbali sana?
Of course ni mbali ndio. Of course hata judges wenyewe wako intimidated. You people believe Kenya is run by ati wewe umeamka na answer yako hapana, hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Unless wakuwe na courage enough. Unless wakuwe na courage, but Kenya hairaniwi hivyo. Kenya inaraniwa na watu wa kusema. Remember during the Kirubis what is it? After he passed on the memorials, you understand? Igathe said the governorship and the deputy governorship of Nairobi was all Kirubi's plan. Si nyinyi mseme ama msiseme, iliwekwa hapo, they strategize, and so even this BBI ndio ipushiwe forward hivyo. Kuna vile kuna among the judges maybe wana feel hivi but wanaambiwa hivi, so hakuna kitu kama ati it's their choice. It's not their choice. Hata even today, let me finish. Today where Raila was, he said it. He said he will push BBI till the end. Yeah. So
na alisema akiwa Nyeri
confidently he said it. So unless the judges were very strong about it and they pray about it, intimidation is very high in Kenya. And Kenya si wananchi wanachagua, ni kudanganywa, tunadanganywa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bobby, let me come to you. Bobby, are you there? Okay, kabla Bobby tumpate. Mr. Eli Mwiti, sasa bro. Are you there ama uko nyuma ya tent kabisa? Eli Mwiti, can you hear us? Okay. Tom, unaonaje leo before I come to Duke? Finally, everyone has made their submissions. Now we await the final deliberation of the judges. Na imeko date 20 of August. Your whole take, tumesikiza sides zote mbili. Wewe kama mwananchi, what really stood out for you?
I think first of all I'll say that both sides gave very, very amazing and compelling arguments. And as it stands, I think it is fair to say that the general spirit of the Kenyan people, at least majority, is that the BBI is quite unpopular among certain sections.
Okay.
And I think the general feeling is that BBI is unpopular, but from what was said in the courts, I think that even the petitioners stand a great chance of being able to reverse certain elements of the previous ruling. There are certain things that could be reversed. I don't think they will be able to reverse it in its entirety because there were different issues that were raised.
So what does that mean, Mr. Tom? I heard you yesterday, you got some degree of what you understand in law. So let me ask you. They were around 22 or more or less of what the High Court said in their previous judgment. What would it mean if for example, the appeal court only nullifies only 3 or 4 or even 5, what happens? Do we still sail through to BBI, or the case dies like that?
You see, they are close to the number you've mentioned, but most of them are quite interrelated. For example, and I said this yesterday, if the court says that the president can be able to initiate a popular initiative, because the argument of his lawyers was that he's also a citizen of Kenya and should be able to enjoy those rights. So if the court say that he's able to initiate a referendum or an amendment, then I think automatically that will also cancel the idea that they are saying that it will be immaterial whether it was started by the president or whether it was initiated by Junaid Mohammed and Waweru. So that argument will also be dismissed. But back to your question, there are certain things that if the court, because most of them are. Pardon?
Tom, just before you do that part, I question. What do you think of between a proponent and an initiator? What is the difference between someone who proposes a bill and an initiator? What are the difference? What do you make of them? Please.
Pardon, a proponent and a what?
A proponent and an initiator.
Was it a promoter or an initiator?
A promoter and an initiator.
The Gidhu argued that the former CJ argued that Attorney General argued that the President and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, former Prime Minister, simply proposed, and then Junaid and Waweru initiated. So, what do you make of that?
I think, in my view, what Gidhu Muigai was trying to do is simply semantics. Trying to play with the English language to try and craft a difference in the plan, because looking at what actually happened, it is obvious to the majority of Kenyans that this process in its entirety was initiated by both Raila Odinga and the president. And sometimes, if you look at it linguistically, then to initiate and to propose or to be a proponent in linguistic terms is almost the same. So I think I didn't quite get Gidhu's argument. I didn't listen to his entire speech, but I think I don't see a major difference looking at it from an English point of view. Legally, probably there's a difference, but I didn't get his argument, so I wouldn't be able to give detailed explanation on that. So back to the question, I think it will be very difficult for the BBI to go through if certain important elements are upheld. So that if the BBI says, okay, the president can initiate a popular initiative, but again, you see, there are certain things like I remember they said that the president can be sued while in office. You see, those are certain things that may not necessarily have a bearing on the referendum or the popular initiative directly. So even if it is upheld, it may not necessarily affect the referendum. So it depends on which particular clauses are affected. So I think in general, I'd say that it is highly unlikely that this thing will go through, in my view, but there are certain elements that have a high chance of being reversed. Like in my view, I would really, the arguments are quite compelling as to whether the president should enjoy certain rights as while still being a president, but still enjoying his personal liberties as a citizen of the country. And to come also to the other issue of the rallies that we are talking about, I think Sometimes the problem with when you start talking about Ruto and Raila Odinga, then you say Raila was in Nyeri and Ruto was elsewhere. Then you start comparing now who was putting more people at risk, and then you would argue that Ruto was having more crowds, therefore is more wrong than Raila, who was having fewer crowds. You see, once the government has put a policy and says that for all weddings and funerals, the maximum is 100 people, then we should not treat politicians with a silver spoon and say because you're a politician, you can increase that number. I think we don't need to employ double standards on this. I think everybody should observe the rule of law, irrespective of who you are. Thank you.
Nelson, maybe I can ask Nelson this question. What was the cap given to those attending funerals in the 13 counties that have already been demarcated? Unmute yourself, man, Nelson.
Well, to be honest with you, Jax, I've not been closely following the government directives so far as press conference updates are concerned. But what I make of, so far as my
I think it's 100.
It was 100, right? So I think if what Tom is saying it's 100, yeah. If what Tom is saying that we should look at both sides of the aisle in terms of breaking the law is breaking the law. We had the burial of a great leader last weekend, and I think those in attendance, to the level that they even caused riots and all, they were more than 100. What do you make of that? Because at times I tend to think we are biased in even our arguments when we only say Ruto did ABCD, yet we forget that there are other ways you can break the law, So what do you think? Do you think we just need to call them as they are?
Yes, what I think is this, without even going far. Neither Raila nor Ruto are my fathers. And for that reason, therefore, two wrongs do not make right. When Ruto is wrong, Ruto is wrong. When Raila is wrong, Raila is wrong. And in this issue of COVID-19 protocols, rules, regulations, and even the guidelines that have been set aside, both of them are wrong. Both of them are wrong. Okay, we need to follow the protocols and the guidelines that are being provided by the Ministry of Health. And even the Ministry of Health themselves, they are wrong because they have been mandated to ensure that everybody follows these rules and regulations to the letter. You see, there is no children of lesser God, and there are no children of lesser God. So it is high time to tell us that, what, nyinyi tunawakazia lakini hawa watu hatuwakazi. Sasa they would rather just even say that I think this country needs to adopt the perception of Donald Trump yenye ilifanya atolewe uongozini. Ile yenye alikuwa anasema natural what? Ile yenye alikuwa anasema everybody should be infected with the virus and then people to get well naturally and then to develop immunity. If at all that is the trajectory that these people want us to take, then they would rather just leave us. We live our life as normal because it is not written anywhere, not proven scientifically, that the virus only spreads at night so that we be given curfews. We can't even operate our businesses. We can't even go, have fun or anything. For them, they have fun in private parties. They do their things the way they want. They have rallies. They have their things, businesses moving on the way they want. So two wrongs do not make a right. Ruto is wrong to have multitudes and group of people, his residents and other places. Raila is wrong also to have the same. Any politician who have another is wrong. I can't even agree on that.
Okay. Duke, what is your take, sir? What do you think? The happenings of today and actually over the week, the court and all they have been doing, the both sides, what they've been saying. Maoni yako ni yapi? And of course, the gathering of Ruto before we go deeper into the issues that came out.
Okay. First of all, I want to base my submission on some facts of the Constitution of Kenya. First of all, the Constitution states that the Constitution cannot be amended within the last year of a term this case, we know that the last year of this term starts from August 9th. Therefore, considering that, and they have said they had the ruling will be made on 20th August. Therefore, that means we can never have a referendum before the general elections. Because if the ruling will be made on 20th, it means that is within the last year. Therefore, it should be the next year when we have to, it's after the general election. That's when it's possible. Then, also I want to respond to, there is a narrative from those who are supporting the amendment that if there will be no referendum, there will be no election. Without the amendment passing, there is a narrative which is coming out from the president and Raila and the teams, those who are supporting the amendment. Therefore, first of all, the Constitution states that general elections should be held on the second Tuesday of August after every year, after every 5 years. The second Tuesday of August after every 5 years. And this case, it will be on 9th August next year. Therefore, the only thing which can make the election not to occur on that specified date is if Kenya is at war. That means we are at war with another nation, or maybe we have civil war within the nation, which renders the environment hostile for the election to be conducted. And in that case, the election can be postponed for 6 months, and that requires that both houses, that's the parliament, the National Assembly, and the parliament and the Senate, they have to pass that with 2/3 in each of the house. 2/3 will approve that.
Sorry, Mr. Duke, I didn't get that. You said that what would necessitate to postpone the election? Come up again. Sorry to take you back.
The general election can only be postponed if we are at war. That can be, then Kenya is at war with another nation, or we have a civil war within the nation. In that the environment is hostile for elections to be conducted.
So as you are saying, in short, at the moment, the Constitution as it stands, the election date cannot be changed.
It can never be changed.
Thank you.
Unless we have a war, and coronavirus is not a war.
Okay.
Several nations have conducted the elections which are in actually at a worse, a more devastating situation than our nation is at now.
Okay, go ahead.
Having said that, so whether the Court of Appeal gives a pass to the amendment, we cannot have a referendum before the general election. That's the bottom line. Even if that ruling is made, also, we are very sure there are some people who will go to the court, the Supreme Court, and that will also take time. Therefore, there is no any practical circumstance which can make a referendum to happen before the general election. Therefore, and if we have the general election, we know the priorities will shift. So, considering all those factors, is that this amendment is dead and buried. That's my submission.
Okay, Bob. Bobby, can you hear me?
Okay. On my side,
napendezwa na outfit yako, uko sawa sana.
hii ya handshake.
Oh, ni a handshake, eh?
Okay.
Sir, go ahead, sir.
Okay, me what I can say kitu ya kwanza, semeni hao ma leaders ama top leaders wote kabla waja organize rally zao lazima wa announce one okay like 5 days to the day na waambie watu wachukue hizi measures za COVID-19 na waweze pia kuencourage watu wapate vaccine. Alafu kitu ya pili waseme, wajaribu kuambia ma security wao, wajaribu kuambia watu bila mask usikuje kwa marali zetu. Pia alafu ni kwa tini nimesikia kidogo mkiongea juu ya economy, nimesikia kuna mtu amekuwa anaongea maduka zinafungwa siji nini zinafungwa, hii mambo lockdown na iko mzuri. Ile kitu mimi naweza kasema sisi tunaishi kwa hizi nchi zile za semeka zimeendelea. Na huku area tu mmoja wakipatikana watu kama more than 5 wametest positive, lockdown. Unaona? Only 5 people lockdown. Lakini kitu kila siku na kujaga mnasikia kuna vitu zingine wacheni kublame president. Gonjwa sio mchezo. Watu wengi wanaona hizi vitu mnatoa ati mbona ameweka lockdown, anaribia tu biashara, anafanya nini? Hiyo biashara utaifanya kwa mgonjwa? Hauwezi. Ile kitu iko ni ile tujaribuni tuencourage ma leaders walete hizo vaccine mingi, watu wachanjwe, ndio sasa tuanze kupiga mdomo. Lakini as per now tufuateni directives za government kule wanasema kuhusu hiyo mambo corona. Wacha lockdown iwekwe. Mimi as we talk now na kuna family najua baki ni Nyanza. Wamepoteza watu 5 from the same family. Nasikia watu 5. Sasa imagine hao watu 5 nyinyi mtazaje kublame president ati mbona ana lockdown the country? Hakuna vile utafanya kazi kama wewe ni mgonjwa. Na corona sio mchezo, siwadanganyi. Corona sio mchezo. Sasa as per now tuwekeni mambo ya lockdown kando. Tuongeeni vile tutona Kenyan citizen watapata hiyo vaccine. Nasikia. Alafu mambo hii submission ya Supreme Court mimi sikuwa nimeifuatilia sana because most of the time ile kuna kuja during the day, na during the day tuko kazini. Sasa mimi naweza kusema tu may the best team win. Hapo. Okay. May the best team win. Hapo ndo mimi tunasema sikuwa naifuatilia.
Lakini nikuulize Bobby kwa mfano, wacha tuchukue kwa mfano watakubaliana na wale ambao wanasema BBI iendelee. Lakini tarehe ambao wamepeana ya uamuzi ni 20th of August. Na katiba yenyewe pia bado inasema mabadiliko hayawezi fanywa, especially mabadiliko sugu hayawezi fanywa kwa katiba mwaka mmoja kabla ya uchaguzi. Je, unaona kama tayari washaanza kuonyesha ishara ya kuwa wanaegemea upande gani katika uamuzi wao?
Hapana, sasa subajile kitu iko hapo ile kitu naweza kasema we have to follow the law. Si ndio? Kama sheria inasema haiwezi kitu yote zikafanywa 1 year to election, hiyo lazima tutafuata law. Unasikia? Ndio mnaona. Okay, kuni poleni, kuna mtu amejaribu kunipigia nimekata. Ndio nasema hiyo kama 1 year haiwezi kafanywa, wafuate sheria na tuseme walijaribu wakashindwa. Si ndio? Sheria ifuatwe. Sheria ifuatwe. Hapo mimi hapo siwezi kabishana hapo, sheria ifuatwe. Kama inasemekana 1 year mwezi tuwezi tukachange the constitution, wacheni ka hivyo. Okay. Hiyo ndio maoni yangu.
Okay. Eli Mwiti, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Unanisikia?
Niaje?
Niko poa, niaje?
Tuko fiti, siku nyingi jamaa, umejificha mashimo mingi hizi.
Jua imenikaanga hadi nikashika ndafu.
Tusambazie pande hii kidogo ya huku si moto sana. Bobby ako na kofia tamu ya handshake, anafaa kusaidie nayo.
Manze, sioni kama hiyo inaweza nisaidia.
Sijui umefuata.
Kama nichukue hii ya Clinton.
Hii ya Clinton yake peke yake. Ni tailor made. Natoshea picha yake. Sasa tuambie uko aje bro?
Mimi niko poa. Nasikiza tu leo hapa venye wasee. Naelewa mambo ni mbaya, lazima tushike nale hivyo, but iko hivyo.
Sasa nikuulize, umesiko umefuata stories za nchi, especially on the
one juu nayo unajua masaa pia.
Naelewa. Yeah. So what do you make of everything that has transpired over the days?
Well, so far I will not be surprised if this BBI goes the wrong way. So after all, hata hiyo siku wamepeana, remember August ni kumaanisha maybe if kutakuwa na role lingine after August, they need time. So kupeana date of August ni kama kuambia mtu well, na kufikiria, but I don't have otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been listening to some of them, kina Githu Muigai, nimewasikiza kina Havi, although sikuweza kufuatilia everybody, you know, saa zingine unajua huku ni saa ngapi na Kenya ni saa ngapi. So
I understand.
We have good judge, but judges wetu ni watu wako so selfish, ni watu wenye they don't even recognize that where we are. They don't recognize us as Kenyans. Ni mtu mwenye they can't even think about us. Because these people understand law than us, but they don't let us know what we don't know. Because honestly speaking, I think BBI has something that common mwananchi doesn't understand. Yeah, so well, I don't see anything good coming from that hearings na hizo appeals zao, because actually I think kupeana that date, if you think it wisely, it's like telling someone I'm not thinking about it, but I'm not gonna. Ni kama venye unasikia mtu akikwambia at some point ukiwa mgonjwa, tukupenda but uponi, you are going. Yeah. I think the other thing I think umeongea ni stories za rallies. I just said, manze, I said last week, rallies hatutaongea about readers. I'm not gonna sit here nidanganya niseme readers ni wabaya. We Kenyans. Kenyans. Where are you going, man? Unaenda wapi? What tells you that ati ukienda hapo utapata pesa? Because hiyo ndio people think about it. Hivyo tu pia unajua saa zingine hii ugonjwa umeona, for example, I'm not saying ati naongea vibaya, but some of these readers, hata mtu akiwa na homa ataenda India, homa tu, lakini wewe utarangana hapo na jinja na ndimu na everything. Where are you going? Where do you want to go there?
Okay.
When you sit down kwa nyumba yako, kama ni kufuatilia, after all the same people, they say same thing every day. Unaona, ukienda kwa mkutano ya Ruto atakwambia bottom top, ukienda kwa Raila atakwambia hawa. Unaona, they are the same people, we say the same thing every day, so we don't see anything new. Yeah.
Excuse me, Jex. Sijasikia Eli mwiti vizuri. Kuna mtu hajamute microphone.
It's Ayagas.
Okay, Jex, nilikuwa nauliza Eli, sijasikia hiyo statement ya mwisho. Eti ukienda kwa rally ya Ruto atakwambia bottom up, na ya Raila
atakwambia tu hawa watu. The same people, the same.
Thank you for your clarification.
The same people. We don't expect something new from them. I think if we talk about let's say for example talk about Raila, atakwambia watu ni wezi from now mpaka election isifanywe. Ukienda kwa Ruto, he will tell you about bottom top from now and election is. So I don't see why honestly tunafaa kugather kwenda kwa watu. Unajua watu wakiona crowd ya watu watano ni kama mind zao zinaharibika. Anytime they see more than 5 people, they must talk. So don't expect that you mtu atafikiria about you. Yes, another kuwa akiwasaidia kama vikundi or something, but man, you don't have to go there, because if someone need to help you, he can even come to your house. After all, they are your readers. They can come to your door and knock and say, hey, Jex, nimekuletea hii na hii na hii, you don't have to go there because manzi, once utapatwa na hiyo corona, you can ask people who wamepitia about and they will tell you. So I don't see why atufai kulaumu viongozi because if you don't go there, watahubiria nani hiyo mahubiri yao wanahubiringi? No one. Yeah, no one. So mimi I will always blame sisi wananchi because I don't understand why we keep going those meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa. Nelson, I want to come to you. At least now, ile mara ya kwanza iko part ya show ilikuwa tu story. So let me ask you, all that has happened from Tuesday to today, I think you have had most of the submissions, if not all. I see that the process, everyone was given time to give their submissions and all. So what is your take? Unaonaje, where are we headed?
Well, to begin with, just as I said yesterday, we witnessed.
Excuse me, Nelson.
We witnessed one of the most epitomic maturity so far as legal war democracy is concerned, in one of the most, developing countries in the world. This is something that is witnessed and normally seen in a few countries. Maybe in Africa we can talk of South Africa. And maybe we can talk of USA, we can talk of developed countries. So we saw something so unique. In fact, to some extent, I feel like we are headed to a point whereby a president in this country will one day be prosecuted and will one day be arrested and even be charged in a court of law and proven guilty, even given jail term. Just the same way it happened in SA in South Africa, where Jacob Zuma was jailed for like 15 months, something of the sort. You see, if you had the eloquence, the maturity, the arguments put in place by Senior Counsel Orengo, Senior Counsel Tindamolo, Githu Muigai for the first time was now like, he has to present himself. For the first time, Kithuki became sober. Martha Karua could even put the people and say he participated in drafting the constitution. This is a lady who was against the 2010 constitution. This is a lady who was always speaking bile other than speaking things that can unite people. But now you see, this time around, we now saw the Martha Karua who can now say, I'm with the Wanjiku. So everyone in the court purportedly were standing for Wanjiku. Those who are the proponents of BBI, they are talking on behalf of Wanjiku. The people who are against BBI, they are talking against Wanjiku. So my take is this: lawyers did their best, and we have to forget that judges are also Kenyans. They stay in this country, they live in this country, they are also affected, and they also see, and they are part and parcel of us. The judgment will come either way, but I see a given divide headed to the Supreme Court. Actually, this battle is headed straight away to the Supreme Court. My two sides of the coin is this: that I simply and highly feel the same thing that I said yesterday, that I highly feel that the ruling of the Superior Court will be upheld, simply because the other team that was defending and that is defending BBI did lots of fumbles other than presenting truth within the confines and within the rule of law and constitution, so far as what they were saying is concerned. I even saw Gitu making a joke that if you see a lawyer starting with the spirit of the law, then just know that that is a weak lawyer. I don't know what he stood for. Was misguiding and misleading the country, the executive in his tenure as a CJ, as a AG. I don't know whether he was a weak lawyer or he was a weak AG. And there is only one conundrum that we all have to question ourselves, even if the BBI prevails or doesn't prevail. The conundrum which was brought about of the legal framework, the doctrine, the basic doctrine or legal framework, which was now, being marinated to be the spirit of the law. But let us not forget about this part, that, the proponents of BBI have all that it takes to ensure that BBI sells through even without the referendum. If you think, or if you think that BBI must just go through a referendum for it to sell through and carry the day, then you guys are lying, because you remember at some point there was some rumor being murmured that you know what, the president side and his people and his surrounding feels and wants that these things should be passed within the parliament, and then it becomes a bill and becomes a law without subjecting it to the people for referendum and everything. And some other people,
Nelson, just a moment. Nelson, yes. I didn't wish to cut you in your chain of thought, but there are very, very important issues that the parliament, even in their wisdom, even if they would pass it, there are things that must go to the people in form of a referendum. For example, like changing the executive and the structure. That one, no parliament can pass. So even if some of the amendments can go to to parliament, I think some of the things that proposed in the BBI must actually, I think there are around 6, that they must come to the people. So the others from 74, if subtract 6, the others probably some are just policies and all. But I think kuna vitu zenye zinafaa zipitie kwa mwananchi kupitia referendum. So not everything, I agree with you, not everything inaweza puuziliwa na ipitishwe kupitia parliament, but pia kuna vitu ambavyo lazima kama, what do we call it, kama sisi wananchi lazima tupitishe kupitia referendum. I think that's the correct position, but go ahead sir.
Jake, labda nikukumbusha ya kwamba hii nchi yetu ni nchi ya ajabu sana. And it's a country that is full of surprises, you know. Kuna vitu zingine zenye zimefanywa hapo nyuma cha lazima zifanywe kulingana na katiba na venye tuko na our constitution and the rest, but lots of things have been done against the constitution. In fact, for me, what carried the day were the submissions of senior counsel Kamimu. Kamimu said something so simple and something so clear, that when you come before the court of law, you have to have a clean hand. Our president, Mr. has come before this court with no clean hand. And what he submitted that the court should tell him, no, we will not hear you because you do not come before us with a clean hand. Why? Because this president, and even actually Ruto is involved. It is like, you know, the president and Ruto are like a duo. Okay, so we can't praise Ruto this time round because he has been given some red card or yellow card. He is not in the, you know, some very pedimental decision making so far as decisions policies are concerned. Simply because actually now he says that the president and other people are not listening to the court. They are not court abiding and all that. In the first term and even in the beginning of the second term, this government has never, ever, at least in 80% of all the things, court orders that has been released in the 2 terms, they have never been listening to the court. They have never been listening to the court orders. They have never been heeding to the fact that the court has said this, we should not do this. Even the likes of Matiang'i has the audacity that they have order from above. Miguna was deported out of this country, having been given more than 12 court orders that were refraining and even stopping the government from deporting him. But orders were from above. Who is this that is above giving orders contradicting what the court is saying? At that point of time, Ruto was part and parcel of this caucus above. And I remember perfectly when Murkomen, Sudi, and the likes speaking lots of English justifying orders from above. So far as court orders being respected and concerned, so I just wanted to remind you, Jake, that my friend, a lot of things has happened in this country which are not within the confines and rule of law. So don't be shocked if they even decide to do other things. Like what Milka said, that it was just during the burial of Chris Kirubi that we came to realize that even the leadership of Nairobi County government was all his, you know, thoughts. So it simply means one thing. This country kuna venye tushakuwa sisi kama wananchi tushakuwa, yani tumekubali status yetu tukaiachia watu wengine walipeleke mbele kama gurudumu yao. Yani sisi tumekubali tu kukuwa wanaabiria. Tuweza tukaambiwa haya basi tumefika hapa, nyinyi nyote shukeni. Sisi tunaendelea mbele na gari yetu na tushuke sisi wote. Tuweza tukafika mahali pengine pia tunaambiwa haya basi tunawataka tena, pandeni juu. Tunataka tuende hiyo upande mwingine na tutaenda sisi wote. Jake, let me ask a simple question. Did you vote during 2017 election?
Definitely.
You did?
Yes, I did.
And you're part and parcel of the group who are saying, we as Kenyans, we have decided that we have chosen Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto to be our president and deputy president. You Kenyans voted.
Not really. Actually, funny enough, I voted for Baba. That's the funny part. But unfortunately, when we were to vote next time,
Baba boycotted elections, if you remember.
Yes, so the second time we voted. Yes?
The first election you voted.
The first time I voted, the second time I did not vote. Tuliambiwa tukae home.
Oh, good. So my point is this. We need to wake up as a people and start championing for ourselves, especially the young. And we have to do this now and not tomorrow. We don't have to do this under the umbrella of William Samoei Ruto. This guy has been part and parcel of the group. This guy is just a different monkey in another outfit, but the trees are the same. The forest is a forest for a monkey. You can only be a monkey maybe with other different stripes of colors. We have to champion for change and real change. And this change cannot come from the current political caucus that we have at the pinnacle of leadership by so far by names of Raila Odinga, William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta, Kalonzo Musyoka, Mudavadi, and Gideon Moi. These must come from young people who understand what they go through on a daily basis. People who cannot get jobs to pay HELB loans. People who have parents back at home, hoping that one day, one time, their son will come back home and even elevate them from the chains of poverty. Okay?
Okay.
So that is my position.
Okay.
Excuse me, Jex.
Yeah.
Jexi, mimi ni kwetu hapa chini nikikuongezea watu. Na maybe
najua unaomboleza baada ya kuchapa bao mbili.
Na maybe pia ukinini ukitaka ni log in niongeze niweke mtu kwa show, so unanipigia kwa WhatsApp, so unaelewa hiyo procedure.
Haina wasi.
So well, thank you for your time, man.
Okay. Wekesa, I would want to come to you, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Ni aje bro, umepotea na wewe ni aje? Umejificha sana hii
mashine. Nilitoka kwa page, so I miss you.
Oh, ulinifukuza jamaa.
Wewe siwezi kufukuza.
Niongeleshe nyume attend nikibadilisha mawazo nitarudi.
Awenda kurudisha cha lazima.
Labda utatoa za macho sasa.
Tunaona the way BBI inaenda, we might be friends.
Okay, sawa. Wewe kulingana na wewe inaendaje? Hebu tueleze.
I've been having a network problem. Sijui mmefika wapi. Inakuja on and off.
No, what we are asking is all that has been happening. What is your take? Tangu Tuesday, leo amemaliza. Unaonaje?
Oh, I really have enjoyed the session. If there is one moment I like for me when these cases happen, it's not just the side I'm supporting, but it's some of the legal knowledge that we gain. It's an exchange of information, by the way. I like the submission of Kidu Muigai in his conclusion. I think the last submission he made, he said that there is no case that has ever baffled the bench or the legal minds like the one that is before the Court of Appeal.
Okay.
And this is the case that ideally they almost disagree on everything. They disagree on basic structure. They disagree on the immunity of the president. There are so many things that lawyers are disagreeing on. And he says this is a complicated case, but it's good for the country, because for us, we are growing and we are maturing as a democracy. I want to say that I'm satisfied with my side for the submissions they made. Also, I'm okay to learn from the other sides that they have. Some of them were impressive in terms of their submission.
Okay.
I only had pity to my learned friend Harvey, who had to sweat through the session.
Wekesa, achana na jamaa wetu wa chai bwana. Achana jamaa wetu wa chai.
Unajua, unlike the parliament where alipewa chai, huku hakupewa chai, so there was a lot of yeah, but he made some of the weird statements, like one of the statements I remember, which he has been trending, is that the president ceases to be a person the moment he takes an oath. Now that is interesting. Because so he was asked, so if this BBI was to call forth and there is a referendum and there is voting, will the president vote? Yes. He will vote as who? Will he vote as a president or as citizen? So he will vote as a citizen. So the question then is, why should he be denied the rights of citizen at the beginning, only to be given the rights of a citizen at the end of the process? That he will vote as a citizen, but not participate as a citizen even from the beginning. So,
but I think you're also asking a funny question, because the question also would be, why didn't he start the process as a citizen?
Yeah, but we have always argued that he was a citizen. It's the other side who are saying that no, he acted in his capacity as the president. But he said no.
The question you're not answering is, you're saying he will vote as a citizen, but he's not being allowed to participate as a citizen. Then the question is, as he was acting, was he acting as a citizen or a president?
Jakes, allow me to guess a little bit. Maybe to just indulge and help in understanding the presentation of Harvey, or talking about the ceases to be a person the moment he takes the oath of office. Remember that in our president, we have a symbol of unity. Remember that in our president, we have a leader of government and a leader of a nation, someone who can make a decision on behalf of 50 million Kenyans. And that's why, if you remember so well, during the just recent loan that was applied at the World Bank, hii yenye kuna litokelezea eti anapigia World Bank simu eti wakataze hiyo loan isikuje Kenya. You remember the response that we had? You are not the right authority to make this decision. And so the person in charge of making this decision had already made it final, and we cannot revert it or based on your phone call. Now, what happened is this. Remember that the president, even as at now, you can also again refer to President Barack Obama, the former president of US. He said that lots of his freedoms as a private citizen and his normal way of life were interfered with. He can't even go to a club to take alcohol with his friends. He can't even go to a brunch and have his lunch. He can't even walk into a street restaurant and have a bite of anything that he wants to do. Like, he can't just do things the way other normal citizens does them. Now, that does not mean that the president ceases to be a citizen of a country, but he is a senior citizen. He will be making
Thank
his
you.
decision
Thank you.
through
Thank
voting.
you. Now this is my time. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Because I gave you all the time to talk. I understand what you are saying, but you're also coming to my point. Whether you call him senior citizen or whatever, he's still a citizen. And he has the rights of a citizen like any other citizen. And he participates in many other processes. That's why when he votes, he goes to Katundu and votes as a citizen, whether he's still occupying the office. Now, when we talk about presidency as an office or an institution, and that's why it can be delegated, by the way. When he was going to Hague, he delegated it to Ruto because presidency is as an institution that can be exercised even without Uhuru Kenyatta himself. So when he was doing the process, he was participating as a citizen of this country, because that is even a requirement when you are running for the office. You need to know, to show and demonstrate that you are a Kenyan citizen. And you don't only become, or you don't cease to be a citizen after you become a president. So nothing is taken away. So even the wordings that how he used to were very heavy, that he ceases. You know that word, you know, you can't cease to be a citizen. And then the other thing he said is he can't participate in the affairs of less mortal. Who is, I don't even believe I am a lesser mortal. I'm not a lesser mortal, neither am I a child of a lesser God. I have equal rights like Uhuru. I have equal opportunities like Uhuru, because today he will not be, tomorrow he will not be president. I can't be. So I'm not a lesser mortal just because I'm not occupying the big office. Okay. So ideally, and that's why in his answer I saw on Twitter, Paul Mwangi answering Harvey, and he said that is idolatry. A complete idolatry. When you start thinking on the side of there are beings who are immortal, and then you think that there are even eternal clauses. And today, even there was a challenge, there was an argument about that eternal clauses. And the key thing that came out is that if we are talking about eternal clauses in our constitution that are unamendable, then there shall be a clarity of which are these eternal clauses that cannot be amended. But the judges in the High Court just imagine that there are such clauses. Yes, they never even told the Kenyans example of such a clauses and how applicable is it in our constitution. So some of those things are the ones that may lose in terms of this appeal, the so-called eternal whatever things.
But as much as you say Harvey may lose, but there are more than one issue in court, sir. What do you think? What happens if at least...
I'm not saying Harvey. I'm saying such like clauses that they tried to, that actually, okay, some were just good literature, English, but in terms of law, they cannot stand. I said such like things will lose the case.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
not Harry as a person.
Okay. Mohammed and Hudhaifa, how are you guys?
We are fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Can you hear me? You seem to be in the same place. I love how you're exchanging smiles to one another.
Yes.
So, tell me something, Hudhaifa. You saw the process that was happening in the courts? What is your take, sir?
My takes.
Yes.
Yeah, I just joined the group now. Yeah, so maybe I will add my text too now.
Now I'm asking on the BBI process. You have seen them appealing and how the lawyers presented their case.
Yeah.
So, what can you say? What really stood out for you in the whole process?
Someone is disturbing.
It's okay. Udaifa, when you're ready, I'll come back to you. Allow me to go back to Mr. President. Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay.
Hello, I'm here.
I'll come back to you, Udaifa. I'll come back to you. Allow me to go to someone else as you prepare to come back. Mr. President, how are you? I don't know if you can hear me, and are you okay to talk while driving?
Okay.
Are you able to talk while driving,
Yeah, I
sir?
can just talk a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I hope we can definitely hear you. Our concern is everyone with you safe because you're driving while talking?
Yeah, I'm almost. That's why I've just agreed to have a call with you guys.
Okay, so tell us, I don't know if you followed through as the president, see the appeal. What do you make of the entire process and everything that came through the courts?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about this issue tumeongelea kuhusu the crowd from Raila and also from Ruto.
Okay.
To me, I want to insist that whenever those guys go on air, as they have that opportunity to bring the crowd together, they should have that spread the gospel of the vaccination to the Kenyan people. As per now, in most countries outside Africa, most of the people have gone back to work because a lot of people have just got the injection, the vaccination, and things are getting back normal. But in Africa, most of the Africans and the way we are very slow in deciding things, and we have that capacity of being intimidated with things that we don't know. But for those who are in Kenya and our leaders there, they should try and push our people to get the vaccination so that we get back to the normal way of living. Because also in that, they will have the advantage of bringing the crowd to near them. So for me, whenever they come to the crowd, they just spread the gospel.
Okay.
On the other side, I have not been following the discussion in the appeal court, but I have heard some of the argument from like Kaminwa and also from this Kidiki Kidure. He had a very good argument. He put it in the correct way because the BBI process was done in a illegal manner. The deep state has used the advantage of the office to bring the BBI to their dream and push the Kenyan people to swallow it like a quinine. But all in all, I'm not supporting either side because I don't know how the Court of Appeal will either upheld or rule against it. But for me, I think the argument before the court was very strong, and I could have seen most of those lawyers who are being called senior lawyers misread Kenya in one way or the other. Orengo and the other guy, when they were in Senate, one was in Senate, the other one was in Parliament. They disagree with the BBI, and when they come here before the court, they were like arguing to bring it back. That is very bad because for Kenyans, they believe on them, and yet these people, they are confusing Kenyans. They have the advantage of being lawmakers, but it seems to show that they are conspiring things and they are doing things in accordance. They are doing things which are not supposed to be done. If you say BBI process was wrongly structured, you should go before court and raise that ground in the manner that you show that it was not well framed. How comes that you are after money? Because that was after money. You can't say on this side you are like this. You are double speaking.
Okay.
So for me, it is very good. For the argument, it was very strong, and I wait from the High Court for the ruling. But on my side, I support the upheld of the ruling from the court from High Court. So let we wait and see. Thank you.
It's okay. Uthaifa, can you mute your mic? Uthaifa, can you mute your mic?
Can we ask him a question?
Let me mute.
Yeah, just a moment, Wekesa. Allow us to have control of this.
Okay, just a moment.
Can you mute your mic? Okay. Mr. President, you have guys who have questions for you. I don't know who to start with. Do I start with Wekesa, then Milka, then Duke, then Nelson? Let's have you, Wekesa, first. Ask your question, sir.
Okay, my question was simple. He's saying that like your
Wekesa, you have muted yourself.
Okay, hello. Sorry
Hello.
for that.
It's okay.
He's saying that Orengo had double standard. On one side, he was opposing BBI, on the other side was in court defending it.
Wekesa,
I think
just one moment. Just one moment.
Yes.
For those of us who are not watching the football but are interested to know the final scores, it's that Belgium have lost and Italy have sailed through to the next round. So sorry to Belgium. Clinton Pole, Ugua Pole hapo nyuma. Go ahead, Wekesa.
Yeah, I was saying that on one, he's arguing that Orengo had double standards. On one side, he was opposing BBI, and on the other side, he came to court to defend it. Now, he needs to understand that Orengo are the architects of BBI. Anything to do with matters of law, Raila consulted Orengo and Otiende Amolo.
Okay.
Yes. At the last minute, there was, and some of us pointed out, there was sibling rivalry, and there was something that was playing out in the Luo Nyanza about succession politics. And somehow they were also not sure whether Uhuru is supporting this thing. And they reached a point and they were telling Raila, ni kama hii kitu wanacheza tu achane nayo. And then their focus now, wakaona, like the people from Central were only interested in the 70 constituencies. So their take there was political. Everybody was trying to secure a political base. And they were telling Mzee, Apa, if these guys are going for this, then you stand here. That's where they differ.
Okay.
But when you look at from even the legal framing and everything from the word go, Orengo was the brain of Raila in the whole process. So they just came back
to cut you short.
Yes.
Just one moment. What really is your question to Mr. President so that he knows what he's answering?
Oh, Mr. President, so I asked, you in your submission you have said that Orengo had double standard. Do you think he had double standard when he's the one who initiated the process? Just because maybe a marriage didn't work and the wife left and he came back doesn't mean he doesn't love the man.
Okay. Mr. President, I don't know if you want to take that before I give you another question.
Bring the second one so that I can do it together.
Okay, Milka, go ahead.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
So mine is not question. I just want to state something, yeah? There is this narrative that people are saying, especially the citizens, we are saying this BBI thing is a narrative pushed by the deep state. But since when has anything that has happened in Kenya not been a narrative pushed by the deep state? Today, during the court, yeah, there's a certain lawyer that said The president himself, Mr. Uhuru, was never supposed to be the president, not because of the elections. Forget about that. Back then, during the times of Kanu, he was the prime minister of the party of Kanu. There was a case, he was taken to court in Mombasa, and everything just disappeared. So they threw all the rulings away. So in short, what is it called? The lawyer was saying that Mr. Uhuru himself was not supposed to be the president because he himself has not followed the rules. He's sitting where his position right now is not accordance to the rule of law. So why are citizens saying BBI itself? Citizens are only one-sided. They only talk what favors them, and what does not favor them, they throw their hands at it. Until the time we all are clear of what we want, that's when Kenya will move forward. Until then, our political or the deep state will always make rules for us, and they'll choose what they want and what they don't want. The second thing, this issue of corona, there is corona. Nobody has denied that. But at the same time, people are, you're saying the vaccine to be given to citizens. Currently, as we're talking right now, more than 1,000 lawyers and 1,000 doctors have sued the government of America, have sued the World Health Organization because of this vaccination. It's not good. There is this doctor in Africa that has already found the cure, and the health organization does not want it to be told. COVID, it blocks the airways to the lungs, and he's saying you can treat it the same way you're treating asthma by I'm not a doctor, but according to the way he was explaining it, the same way you treat asthma, you can use the same procedure. You don't need this vaccination because they are altering, especially blacks, especially Africans. It's altering the DNA of the Africans. Please, before you take the vaccination, read about it and just know World Health Organization and the American government are being sued because of this vaccine itself. And even themselves, they said they never tested the vaccine. They're testing it on us. So please don't push that narrative. And if the leaders should follow the law, wasiweke gathering kabisa. Hakuna tisiju social distancing na mask, hapana. No gathering, because kwa hiyo gathering yao ndio wanatuletea pia sisi the disease. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, Milk, I really didn't want to approach or rather interrupt your chain of thought, but anyway, there's a lot that can be said against what you're saying, but it's okay. I'll allow the panelists maybe to do so. But there was a question to Mr. President, since you didn't ask a question. Mr. President, I don't know, Nelson, is it a question? Just nod your head.
Not a question. And by the way,
okay, just a moment. Tom, is it a question?
I had a question to Mr. President.
Duke, did you have a question to Mr. President so that Mr. President can answer Wekesa, and then we have Nelson? Duke, was it a question?
A response.
No.
Oh, it was a response. Okay. So, Mr. President, can you answer Wekesa? Then we go back to Nelson, then Tom. Quickly, sir.
Okay, I can go on.
Yeah, go
to one Wekesa. I think as we go on, I'll answer it in a wholesome way. In our discussion, we must be very honest. The way the appeal court, the lawyers were, I was arguing in this manner that Kenyans should be honest. Even here when we are arguing, let we be honest.
Okay.
Yani, put the way it is. It's upon Orengo and the other Otiende, Amor Otiende.
Okay.
They could have been very honest in the way Wekesa is saying that they are the guideline and they are the guiders of one rule, Raila Odinga. They could be honest from the first time to guide him in the right manner. But it is very wrong and very illegal for such like lawyers, who we call them, with big names, but they are like misreading our country. How comes that you can stand before the Senate and you argue the framework of this BBI was, from the bottom of it, it was structured in the wrong manner. Then when you come before the court, when you are arguing, you defend whatever you said. That is misreading of the whole country, and that's why Kenya in totality is being driven in a manner that we see. We don't know where we are heading to, because those who we believe are the lawmakers, they are double standard. Second thing, they are not honest. That's why I have said, even when we are discussing here, let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. If somebody misread our people, let we say he's misreading our people. If Raila is misreading us, let we say he's misreading us. If Ruto is misreading us, let we say he's misreading us. We voted for Uhuru, but sometimes we pinpoint the mistake that Uhuru usually do. Why? We loved Uhuru and we voted for Uhuru, but we can't agree with what he's doing. If he's doing wrong thing, we should point to them. That's how to bring Kenya in the right lane. So for me, I'm arguing in that manner that everyone be honest in whatever he's saying, because like this panel, we are in the network, we are in the whole world. Let's put things the way they are. If somebody who has put things in the wrong manner, let's bring them in the right manner, so that tomorrow he will change and recollect his mind when he's saying anything. I think that's all what I can say.
Yeah, okay, maybe in terms of honesty, I'm also seeing your selective honesty. I haven't seen you say anything wrong on the other side you support. And that's why you can talk about a topic, but as long as you are biased in your stand, we don't even see the honesty. Let me ask you, and I asked you on social media this question, that in 2007, Martha Karua was the legal justice and affairs minister. And that time she witnessed the Mwai Kibaki being sworn in at night. And she was, if you watch the Serena discussion, she was very passionate about it, supporting impunity. Today in the court, she is coming out as a champion of democracy and justice and fight against impunity. That is how dishonest the whole thing is. But you see, all the people who are against BBI will only see dishonesty in Tienda Molo and in Orengo. They will not see dishonesty from the other side of Kindiki Kindure. Maybe some of them are having even bitterness that the president took them out of their own seats. So this topic of honesty is not, you don't understand it from an elementary point of view. Sometimes you need to know what script is somebody reading from.
Okay, well said. Allow me, Mr. President, not to allow this to really go beyond that, because we cannot really gauge the honesty on any side. So I want to
put just one point.
Kindly, sir.
Mr. Wekesa, according to you yourself, as you put that information before us, are you honest of yourself? That's the bottom line of this argument. We should be honest from ourselves. Let not go back to the historical mistake that which were being done. We are evolving from one point to another. We are getting, as a philosophers, we are getting new energies and new technologies and new, what do we like say it? We are changing. So if historically they used some mistake and today they have come to the right, I think we should support the right thing so that tomorrow we will not get the mistake. That's my position.
Thank you, and thank you, and that is why even Kina Otienda Amolo may have made a mistake and they are changing. It's not only for the honors of Mother Karua. Even Kina Otienda Amolo and Orengo had changed their minds. It's everything you did yesterday is historical. Don't think historical is 2007. Even yesterday, history begins from just
You
the last
people,
minute.
Sawa,
Mr.
sawa.
President,
Just a moment,
Mr.
just a moment,
President.
Milka, just a moment.
Yeah.
Do you want to interject in form of a question, or you want to participate and give another contribution so that we get other people?
I want to contribute to both their statements. Let me just say that.
Okay.
Mr. President has said that we are moving forward. Okay, when it comes to the BBI, the changing this and that in our constitution, I agree with that. But in terms on our leaders, we are not moving forward. And the constitution is being changed to suit the current leaders that we have right now. So please don't lie to yourself that we are moving forward. We are not moving forward. We're still stuck in the same boat. If you look at that constitution, it has been changed. It is being changed to suit certain people at a certain time. The previous constitution was also changed to suit a certain people at a certain time. So we're not moving forward. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Okay, well said. Jane, how are you? Before I go to Duke, uko salama? Pole, mmechapwa kidogo tu, kidogo tu. Namsalamia tu, ni salamu Duke Nelson, ni salamu. Uko salama eh?
Kidogo tu tumechapwa, lakini saa tuko na hope na England kesho.
Wacha tuone vile mtafanya kesho. Pole na kuombea radhi, kesho itakuwa sawa. Okay, Nelson, go ahead.
Thank you. You know, sometimes you can be patient until you grow out of patience. Anyway.
No. Benye tu nilikukaribisha, mimi ukaribisha kila mtu, si unanijua tu bro.
Anyway, thank you. Mr. President, I never had a question for him, but I just wanted to at least remind him of something. And Kenyans baffles me. Like, I'm amazed with the way in which we carry things and the manner in which we understand certain things. Two wrongs do not make a right, to Mr. Wekesa.
You're correct.
Again, we have to remember that today, as we're speaking, Council Murkomen and Kithuki Kindiki are the most sober people today as we're speaking. 3 months ago, if at all, not even 3 months ago, by last year December, before their leader and whichever political subscription they are within was not yet bolted out of the government, they were the most insane people. Insane people. Today, Martha Karua is the most sober person. God forbid, if at all Kibaki was still the president up to today and Martha was still the Minister of Legal Affairs and whichever, Martha Karua could have been still the most insane person up to today.
That's true.
Today, Oscar Sudi is the most sane person, telling people how wrong they are and speaking the truth the way it should be, like calling a spade and not a big spoon. I don't know whether you remember Oscar Sudi defending Kim Warer, defending Aror, defending
bro, sorry. So in short, what are you trying to bring home? That our politicians change their sides.
My point of view is this: not only our politicians, but even us Kenyans. I see Wekesa passionately reasoning with psychophancy. I hear Mr. President passionately reasoning with blindness and double standards.
Okay.
And those are the two problems that are befalling our people, we as a people. And now there is also this aspect of what I understand and what in real sense is supposed to be understood. I take it like, I understand it, or rather take it like a relationship between a boy and a girl. You have a girlfriend and then you have a boyfriend. in many cases, when we talk to our boyfriends or our girlfriends, and when our girlfriends talk to us, a lady would make up an issue with between her and the boyfriend in a simple manner. Like, she wants something in your phone to read what she wants it to mean, and not in real sense what it is. You understand what I'm saying? No, just to maybe highlight a little bit on what really prevailed, on what really happened between with Otinda Amolo and James Orengo in the parliament. These people did not at any given point of time come out and say, you know what, we have come to the light of the day that BBI is unconstitutional. No, they did not do that. They did not say that, Mr. Jake. They did not say that, Mr. President. What they said, I remember Tindamolo saying that some parts of this bill are unconstitutional. But as a parliament, we are given the powers and mandated with the responsibility and even the rights, privileges of amending an unconstitutional bill to become constitutional. Because remember that their duties and responsibility, one, is to legislate. Okay? That was the same argument that James Orengo as well took to the Senate. They did not say that the BBI is unconstitutional into totality. Okay? They were just reminding their fellow legislators that there are some parts of the bill that are unconstitutional and did not really follow the legal frameworks of the 2010 Constitution. Either way, them being legislators, they have the right and even the responsibility and the duty to make that amendment to become now constitutional. That is now a bill going through the process and the procedure that it normally follows in the House to become a constitutional or a constitution, or a bill to be appended upon by the president to become a constitution.
Okay.
That is what many people, including Mr. President, is mistaking for these two people to come out clearly and say the entire bill was unconstitutional, and right now they're now defending what they had already said at first to be unconstitutional. Now, fine beyond. Why don't I support BBI and why don't I reject BBI? It has, actually, Ayaga asked this yesterday, and even you, Jex, you also asked somebody this yesterday. It is not bad into totality. It is not good into totality. My issue with it is the timing and priorities as a country. Okay? Priorities as a country. As a young person, I've always said here and any other in any other platform, as a young person in this country who is not employed by this government who wants to give me BBI, and they want to seduce me with the fact that they will give me a 7-year tax relief when I start my business. This is my point. I don't want a tax relief. In fact, I don't want to be lazy. I don't want to be a zombie. I don't want to be somebody who is being spoon-fed. I want to pay taxes because I want to be a responsible young person in this country. What do I want? I want an access to capital and not tax relief. It's more easier for me to thrive business-wise if I have an access to capital. It's more easier for me to thrive business-wise if I have a good market and a good place and a good area, conducive environment to practice my business. Today, as we're speaking, and please take this on note and you can take it to the bank, it will earn you some coin, anyone watching and anyone listening. Tanzania have already started embracing the spirit and the culture of buy Tanzania, build Tanzania. Wanajivunia vitu zao, wanajivunia mavijana wao kufanya biashara na kutengeneza vitu vya kitanzania. Wabunge wanavaa nguo zenye zinashonwa Tanzania. Mpaka president wao Samia Suluhu anavaa vitu zenye zinatengenezwa Tanzania. Come back to our country. Today as we're speaking, meet even, for example, an MP, quote unquote, any MP. I don't want to mention any name here. Approach him with even a proposal that, Mheshimiwa, I can do this, blah 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 blah. They first of all have this kind of, a big man syndrome. When I'm big, my suits should be coming from big places like Italy, like Turkey. Even if it is worth 8,000 in Italy, and then you come back with it in Kenya here and sell it at $400, they will buy it simply because it came from Italy. Yet, there is a young Kenyan somewhere who can do a much more superb, surpassing or even matching the quality being imported from Italy. This is what we are lacking. What are our leaders doing? We don't need BBI to come and tell us that, in fact, we don't need enlargement of leaders in terms of MPs and constituencies and the rest. If today we have more than 300 plus MPs who does not even know each other, what will it be like? And we are maintaining them. We are paying their security. We are paying their lunch. We are paying their mortgage. We are paying their mileage. We are paying their mpango wa kando slay queens. What will it be when we have maybe 70 plus MPs? We need to think about us before we think about them.
Okay. I'm coming.
I have a question.
Wekesa, just a minute. I want us to go to a new topic. So, but before
But
I bring,
I have a right of response. He said I'm a psychophant. I can't let it go. I can't. I have a right of response, and I allowed him to get.
hawezi kanyangia hii, but sawa to reply but quickly so that we can allow Jane to come in and Simon, they have not said anything, and maybe Duke kidogo so that we can introduce something else. Cynthia. Okay, go ahead.
Jakes.
Yeah,
Jakes
one
also.
of the things.
So
A minute, Wakesa. What kindly 1 minute, eh?
Go ahead.
Jakes, allow me to answer Nelson's question after Wekesa, please. Just to answer, not a question, not anything.
Okay. Wekesa, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. What I want to tell Nelson is that one of the most misused words in Kenya is psychophancy. And psychophancy is praising some powerful people in and you are expecting to get something from out of them. I can tell you for free, I am nobody's. I don't earn anything from anybody. I make my contributions. None of them know me, and I make my contribution just as an individual Kenyan. Okay. In terms of what you have said, I want to say that it's good also. Sometimes young people have a zeal, but without knowledge. We are just poking holes on the process, but we are providing no solution. This is a process that was there. Even people are making their submissions. My brother, if you ask him whether he made submissions in regard of the BBI process and see whether those issues were captured or not, they didn't. In fact, we sat back and we left the process to go on. And right now we are complaining that maybe the things they came up with, like tax holiday break, are not good for us. They may not be good for you, but they are good for somebody else. And again, when you say create an environment, so the environment does not exist in utopia. Part of it is creating, when I give you a tax holiday, I see you are financially incapable, so I'm creating an environment for you to thrive. People like Uhuru and Gideon Moy are not thriving in business because they were super thinkers. They met an environment that was favorable for them. So when us who have a poor background and maybe we don't have the funds and we want just an environment to open us for opportunities also to thrive like any other, don't tell us we are lazy. No. Most guys are thriving in business not because they were very industrious. They just got a good environment from those who began or who stood before them. Yeah, I just thought I should contribute something on that.
Okay, Milka, go ahead.
So, hi, Nelson.
Hi.
You, on the matter, I'm fine. The matter of the big people of them not promoting local things is because Kenya has always been under Elizabeth, the Queen. Kenya has always been under the white man. If you confirm the whole of Africa, Kenya has always been under the white man. We've always, even as the citizens, we've always been drive with the motion of white man's things is best. So please let us not also blame the MPs, because me, I know a lot of locals, they cannot buy from you, but they'll go to Zara, which is owned by a white man. They'll go to LC Waikiki, which is owned by a white man, to promote them, but they cannot promote you. Well, yet you can design very nice things for them. So Kenya is just a sad country because we are driven by the white man's notion, and let us all, no, not let us all, we are under a white man's direction. Hatuna uhuru, in short. Ni tu tunapaintiwa tu, we are free, we are not free. Thank you.
Sawa, Milka, leo unanipea temptation, but anyway.
No, you can tell me please.
No. I like being fair, so I'll not attack you in any way. So Simon Dongo, can I come to you before I go to Jane?
Yes.
Niaje bros, kumob jamani.
Poa sana. Nimetulia tu, najua leo ndo nimepata nafasi kidogo, kazi mob.
Naelewa. Sasa, I don't know if you've been following what has been happening in our courts.
I've been following. And to me, first of all, Kenya as a country, we have lost focus.
Okay.
Because, number one, the problem is not the constitution in the first place. We have a good constitution in place. Has it been implemented fully? No. Why should we change something that has not been implemented fully? Again, how old is our constitution? The one we just passed. It's not even more than 10 years. It's supposed even to be at least 15 years. So for me, we are changing this constitution much earlier than it should be. Because, first of all, it hasn't been implemented. Another thing, the problem with this country is our economy, not the constitution. The president should focus on how, or whoever will end.
Simon Dongo, just one moment.
Yeah.
Alan Orlo and Haron, to join us, you kindly, I can see you guys are already on YouTube. Ukienda hapo kwa comment section, utaona, just scroll above you, utaona links zimepeanwa hapo by Mtembei and K and some, from Mtembei. Click that, and then when you click, it will take you to another tab known as StreamYard. Click StreamYard, itakufungulia kitu yenye utahitajika kuweka jina, and then ukiweka jina yako una click enter. Once uko hapo, we'll add it to the panel. That's the procedure. Haron, there's still some more. Tuko only 8. We can have 2 more, so kuna nafasi. So if you are willing to come in, the studio is not yet full. Simon, sorry, I just needed to update the guys commenting. Go ahead, Simon.
Okay, so as I was saying, so what we should focus on is how to improve our economy, not the constitution. The constitution, to me, it's just fine. If there are amendments to the constitution, it can be done through the parliamentary way.
Okay.
Because why waste funds? Like they're telling us 14 billion or whatever funds they're going to use to pass the BBI. Those funds could have been channeled elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, the constitution is not the problem. The problem is implementation.
Okay. Someone is saying that tuache kuweka kwenda behind the tent, all of us, isikae kama ni spotlight ya Jex peke yake na Milka. Mtu ana request wekesa Prezo, Tom, Jane, Nelson. At least we try to come to the front. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Mr. President, Nelson, Tom, Jane, if you can come, itakuwa poa. Jane, I want to come to you. Jen, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, pole kwa jiraha ya mpira, lakini have you been following what has been happening in our courts?
Not really, because time difference.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but allow me to go the vaccination way, because I have a question for Milka.
Kindly do.
Milka said that you people should not be vaccinated because she was talking about those propaganda that were going on. Yeah, so I'd like to ask
Actually,
Milka.
she said there's an African doctor with the cure, rather.
Yeah.
Or how to manage,
No, I didn't say cure.
how to manage.
I said
You said how to manage
to
asthma.
solve.
How to manage
Exactly.
asthma is the same way as
Yeah,
managing.
that bit I did understand. Yeah, but me, I want to ask her. But she said that people watu wasikwe vaccinated. Sami swali yangu, I want to ask her, what should I do? Because me, I've been vaccinated, both injections. What should I do?
You should be worried because alisema ita change your DNA.
Wacha yeye anijibu.
No, I'm joking.
Hello, Jane.
Hi.
Jane. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Please understand me. This is what I said, yeah?
Yeah.
I said, currently, as we're speaking, we have the US government and the World Health Government being sued. The reason as to why they're being sued is because the vaccines that they're pushing to people has not yet been fully tested. You understand? It has not yet been guaranteed.
Any particular vaccine? Because we have loads of different vaccines.
I know any vaccine that concerns this disease. It has not yet been tested fit for human. That is one. The second thing I say, yeah, please. Tell me.
As per now, this minute when I'm talking to you, yeah, in England, 33 million people have received both doses. 33 million already wamekuwa vaccinated. Una understand? Alafu walianza na watu wazee kwanza. After kwanza na watu wazee walipomalizwa wakakuja kwa healthcare workers, which I was one of them. My second dose, I received it in April 7th. Kitu mmoja naweza kukuambia na British, nimeishi hapa 17 years. They value their people. They will, nakwambia watu wanapenda watu wao. There is no way. There is no way wanaweza patia watu wao, hata hao wazee. Walipea watu vulnerable. Watu vulnerable kabisa, mtu akota immune yake ni 0. Na walipewa hiyo vaccine. Una understand? There is no way watu wanaweza patia watu wao kitu ambayo wanajua inaweza wahamu. They value their people so much. Sikudanganyi. Another example, mimi napatianga watu, unaona mtoi wangu yuko 9 years. Mtoi saizi aende tu shule ambie mwalimu nilimslap tu kidogo hivi ndio nitajua mtoto si wangu, ni wa gava.
Jane, I said America, I didn't say US, I didn't say London. UK. Because also as we're talking, Australia also has their own vaccine. And they're saying theirs is way better than the one that America is distributing to Africans. You can also confirm that. I'm not lying. Because America is being sued because what they have produced is not fit for human consumption, has not been tested. That is what I have said. I don't know about you.
America walitoa Moderna na Johnson & Johnson. Kwa sababu AstraZeneca ili originate ya hapa.
So mimi hivyo ndo ninajua na hivyo ndo nimesema. I can confirm to that because I can test. I have somebody who has been injected in America and that thing, even magnet is sticking in their body. Even as you're talking, since you have somebody you can confirm to, even I have relatives back in America and they're saying this shit is real.
Are you sure you confirmed? Because before kulikuwa na lot of propaganda. There was a lot of propaganda. Hata sisi vile tu vile ilitoka na huku je watu walikufa wengi, tulikuwa tunasema tutadungwa. So kulikuwa a lot of propaganda. Alafu watu wakapelekwa kotini wakaambiwa approve hizo propaganda zao hakuna watu walipo, no, they couldn't prove anything.
So me, I will. I don't know if Jakes, you can find my. No, me, I can back my
Those
answer.
are conspiracy theories. There are so many on the internet.
There were so many. I'm telling you. Mara tunawekewa chip ya 666. People have
don't know about that.
Listen from
no. I'm just saying the conspiracy. I'm not saying you say that. Yeah. The thing is, wacha nikwambie, unaona kama sisi saa hizi tumefunguliwa huku kwa sababu watu wamekuwa vaccinated. Una understand? Life imeanza kuendelea vile ilikuwa.
Listen, do you know where you are? You are in the UK. Us, we are in Africans. You people, white people, use Africans to do their testing Believe it or not. You lie.
Listen, we were vaccinated here before they brought AstraZeneca to Kenya. No. Those were proper. Hizo ni propaganda zilikuwa. Kumbuki mpaka watu wakisema before ati Bill Gates ndiye anaitengeneza, ndiye anataka kuja kumaliza watu wa Afrika. Unakumbuka all these things were there. So sisi kabla hata ile nini AstraZeneca iletwe Kenya, watu tulikuwa tusha vaccinatiwa already. Una understand?
No. I think the best way to do this is, I don't know if Jakes has my number. We can talk on WhatsApp. Me, I give my evidence because me, I can confirm what I'm saying.
The only thing I can confirm, I can confirm, walisema AstraZeneca, at least ukikuwa nini, above, was it above or below 30? Usichukue, sio nzuri. Una understand? It's okay, it's good for the older people. Una understand? That's the only, na hiyo walisema vizuri sana, unaelewa? Lakini hizo zingine zote zilikuwa tu ni conspiracy theory. Hakukuwa kitu kama hiyo. Hakukuwa kitu kama hiyo. Ni propaganda kabla zianze, kulikuwa a lot of propaganda. But I'm telling you, vaccination is really changing a lot.
Milka Jane, just one moment.
Yeah. I think there is someone in the comment section who is also supporting what Milka is saying, and she's staying in US. She's saying that there is one vaccine that was found to be faulty and caused blood clot, and it was stopped.
Which is AstraZeneca.
You people,
there is another one that was now brought on board, which is now fine. Either way, COVID-19 is only well understood by scientific researchers, people who understand the mutation and the process of the virus pretty well. What we need to do as a people is to keep safe. We need to follow the protocols and the rules and regulations. We need to take the jabs if at all it is certified by scientifics and doctors that it is okay for us, like the one that Jane is saying. If you get it, take it. It is your for your betterment, like it's your precaution. You are the one safeguarding yourself. Theories are there.
And me, I say,
but yes, we cannot let America get away with this.
Yeah.
We cannot let America get away with this. This idea of saying that that it's directed against Africa, that is a conspiracy theory. And I've always even asked people, why is it that Africans always think that somebody wants to depopulate them? Or we
let me answer you. Do you know why?
When other nations are thinking about protecting, listen fast.
No,
you see, other nations are wait fast. Other nations are trying out vaccines and they are vaccinating their own people. We have not done anything. We are just importing vaccines, and then we are trying to say that other nations want to depopulate us. For what? You see, these are conspiracy theories. Again, when we go in the medical field, no drug is perfect. If a drug is written, there are side effects. So it's only a measure of side effects that from one drug to another one and differs. And you have to understand from a medical point of view, we have never had a vaccine for virus. It is the first time we are trying on COVID. Look at all viruses. We don't have a vaccine. So because it hit the world very hard, they had to try all means to come up with something. So the whole world is trying to come up with solutions.
Just one moment. The correct version is we have vaccines. The only thing we don't have is cure. We have vaccines. For example, measles. This is Jake's talking. I'm saying, Now, I am in the medical field, and I can authoritatively say we have
Measles is
vaccines.
not a virus. I talked
Are
about
you
virus. I'm very
Yeah, it's not a virus.
Are you
I'm
sure
very
it's not a virus?
specific.
My sister, let me say
I'm
this.
very
Jake, let me
specific.
say
Can
We
this.
you
have
go to
a
the next?
problem with communication
I'm very
Just one
breakage
specific.
when people are talking.
Just one moment. Measles is a virus, my friend. You can just Google it. I can give you. I can allow you to go on the internet and see. Measles is a virus. It spreads same way as COVID. It is actually used to be a killer disease, and now it's not, because we vaccinate. The 9 months vaccine that we give to children is on measles. It's a rubella virus. You can Google it for
What
free.
about polio?
Jakes, can I say this? Yeah.
Yes.
You know, everyone is different. You see, even these vaccinations tulikuwa tunapata, yeah? Kila mtu alikuwa anapata different side effect. Kuna watu walikuwa wanapewa hata asikii chochote. Kuna mtu amepewa, kuna mtu ninajua tulikuwa na yeye tunafanya kazi pamoja. I'm telling you, for 1 week hakukuja job. Una understand? Alikuwa na ubona mgongo nini mpaka kaenda hosi. Unaelewa? But sisi wote tulienda pamoja kudungwa shindano. Alafu sisichangae, sisi tunafanya kazi na wazungu, tuko mixed, una understand? But sisi wote kwa sababu tuko kwa health sector tulienda sisi wote kudungwa shindano. But kila mtu alikuwa
just one moment. Okay, so you have Googled. Have you seen that measles is a virus? Have you seen? I want us to agree first before we go to what Milka said. Have you agreed?
I think we're losing our point of view, Jakes. We're losing our point of view and trail of thoughts.
Yeah, so
we are arguing one thing that we
what
don't
I'm
even
trying to
understand.
say is what I wanted to correct is that viruses can be managed, and they have managed via vaccines. That's why we immunize our children. Then the other thing that Milka said, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to do this, but the correct information is this: the reason as to why we vaccinate is to boost your immunity to fight against a certain infection. That is why we vaccinate. Number two, I don't agree with you. With due respect, that when you vaccinate someone and as a generate magnetic field, as you have said, and as attract a magnet, that is not correct. So because no part of a human body can conduct. So that
and Jakes from a legal perspective, just from a legal
finally,
perspective,
before I bring Tom, no vaccine can be given to your body unless it is approved, and anyone who gives the vaccine, it is certified by WHO. So all this you're saying, if it is a trial, those who participate, they are not, they go in freely, and even their names are not published. It is given in form of a placebo, or rather it is a trial, and then after it has undergone all the stages of certifying a drug or vaccine, then that's when it is administered. If there are issues that arise with it, that's when it is either removed from the market or something comes in. That's why even when the blood clot issues came about, something had to happen. So basically from a medical field, that is the correct position.
And
Tom,
even with the blood clot, kila mtu anaweza pata blood clot, na hata daktari hatajua who is gonna get the blood clot. You understand? Ni bahati mbaya tu. It's maybe 1 in 1,000 for the blood clots, you know?
Yeah, I wanted to say that maybe Jakes, because you're in the medical field, you can also help with this, because I wanted to know that first of all, before I ask, I would want to point out that normally, if you look at the history of vaccines, normally it takes always about 10 years or so to develop a vaccine. But I think because of the complexity and the rapid spread and the rapid cases of death that we were witnessing, the world had to get into panic mode, and they had to develop a vaccine within record speeds. And probably that is why there wasn't adequate time to do adequate research on people to develop something that is foolproof. So that is why there are side effects. So my question was, from a medical perspective, is there any difference? Because she was insinuating that that this vaccine, there's a way in which it has certain side effects on the blacks specifically. Is there a difference?
There's
From what I
something I
got,
want you. No. There's something I want you to know. Every vaccine.
Anyway.
Jane, just a moment. Every vaccine. I wish we had mothers who can tell you what I'm trying to bring home.
No, my question was:
Let me answer you, Tom. Whenever you give a vaccine, each person reacts differently. Actually, some may come with symptoms that you may tend to think that your child is dying. For example, when you give the first 3 jabs that we give our children, the OPV, you're asking if polio is a virus. So what happens is utakuta mtu yeye ana generate some fever, some symptoms. The site of injection can create Let me finish. So each person will react
a question that I've not asked.
Okay. Then what was your question?
My question was, because according to me, she insinuated that there was some sort of target to the black community. I wanted to ask, from a medical perspective, is the DNA of the white man and the black man, the components, even if you wanted to create something that would target the black man, are we intrinsically different between the black and white in terms of our genetic composition, so that you would develop something that would be able to determine and check that this is a black man and this is a white man, so that we take the same drug but it affects the white man differently from the black man?
So I don't know if I understood your question, but honestly, the DNA,
Tom, and
DNA,
the evolution
RNA
of your
thing,
question,
I think it's more of a genetical issue.
Tom, and the evolution of your question has been, okay, from the time the virus began, the first thing they said that this thing was meant for Africans, to the populators. But when it came to Africa, it's like we were not dying more than the other.
Exactly, you see?
So
Yeah,
the
and here people were
theory
falling like flies.
flopped. The theory flopped.
So, but can we go to something else? Because I tend to think we need more experts, especially on those who have done genetics. I've not done it myself. And
again, we did not prepare for the topic. That should be a topic for another day. We can prepare for it.
But I think I get the concern, and Milka is entitled to her opinion, and we strongly agree with them. But the only thing is we might not really buy everything she says. So,
but Jakes, what we need to know is, let me tell you, the vaccine has got side effects, and the side effects are different to everyone. You understand? There are some people who have it. You know, I'm just talking through experience. Like me, I had a side effect on the first one. You understand? Yeah. Yeah. In 3 days, you know, my heel, I had pain. I couldn't even walk. I had to call the doctor and everything. But after 3 days, it went. Yeah, you understand? I called the doctor and I asked him, is it because of the vaccine? He said, yeah, it might be. And I told you, one of my colleagues, you understand, she's a Kenyan too. She had a back pain. She couldn't, you know, do anything for 1 week. But after 1 week, it's all gone. But there's some people who received the same vaccine, nothing.
They're good.
When I had the second one, I didn't have anything. So it reacts differently to everyone. You understand? It just depends with you. So that's how the vaccine is.
It's not compulsory. If you have issues with it, it's all up to you. So we're not really campaigning for people to not to get, but all we're saying is be informed, know the truth, both the correct version and even the wrong version, but ultimately you make the decision, because I think even in those other nations, no one is being forced to get the jab.
Nobody is being forced, but because of what people saw, you understand? Because of what we saw, because of the people you know that you have lost, because of you having a phone call with somebody trying to tell you goodbye, you understand? And they can't speak, because of what we saw. I'm telling you, people were saying, where's that vaccine? Can it come quickly? You understand? Because of what we saw. But because, you know, in Kenya, people haven't seen anything, Watapuuza. Watapuuza, And then what I can say, I can testify about the vaccine, because I'm telling you, we are back to normal. From, I think, 19th this month, you understand? We don't have to wear a mask.
Okay.
We don't have to wear a mask. You
I
understand?
long for that
So,
day when here in Kenya we will
exactly.
not wear a mask. That will be a good day.
Let's move
Can
on.
we go
Jake,
ahead, dear panelists?
Jake,
Nelson, allow us
as
to
we
go
move
ahead.
as we
Because I
move to
want
the next
to begin
topic,
the next concept of what we are discussing. It's okay.
as we move
Just
to the
as
next topic, Jake. The last subtopic or subtitle that people have just discussed was sort of, presented itself as if it was just a topic of 3 or 5 people. I was almost exiting because I was feeling not part and parcel. But now there is just something a little bit sensitive that Jane has said in her closing remarks, which I find a little bit sort of a loose statement. Not like Kenyans, we don't know, we haven't experienced. Some people have experienced, some people have not experienced. So she should not
No,
generalize.
Nelson, I meant
Kenyans
like
are
the
not.
mass, like kuona watu wengi. Unajua, mnaona TV pale hivi mnasikia leo ni watu 2000 wamekufa. Unaelewa? Kesho mnapata watu 1500. I reduce inaenda juu. That's what I meant. You understand? Siku mean vibaya ati kuhatu mtu or anything. Yani nasema ni ile tu mnaangalia leo mnapata ni watu 500. Kesho mnasikia ni 600. Inaenda tu kipande. Imagine mnaambiwa watu 1500 wamededi leo. You know what I mean? That's just where I'm coming from. Si ati, yani nasema kitu kama home hatujaona hiyo mass hivyo ya watu kukufa hivyo. Unaelewa?
Okay.
Sisemi watu hawakufi, ndio najua kuna watu wamekufa. Unaelewa? Lakini nasema just that mass ya watu kukufa, in big numbers.
Okay.
You get me?
Then we move ahead, but in the subsequent discussion, when we want to correct somebody or bring him or her back to the truth and light, we do it in a more polite and humble manner. That lady has now exited here because she felt like the ground and the environment was so hostile on her side. She could not even be given a chance to talk or anything.
No, maybe the internet yake. I don't think so. She's a strong lady.
No,
I don't think anaweza exit because of that. Maybe
she
sometimes unajua
anyway.
net inalet.
There is this lady in the comment section called Njere Carrison. Ever since we started, I think her comments are almost totaling to, if not 200, then 250. I think she has a lot of content that she can bring forth in the studio for discussion, other than rubbishing people and correcting people left, right, center. We need
She always does that. Okay.
I think we can continue.
Can we continue? At least nime allow your commercial break. Wekesa, is it okay we continue?
Yes, we continue.
Okay, I want to begin by reading some figures given by this company known as TIFA. Is it TIFA? Let me see. Yes, it's known as TIFA. And then this TIFA says that the majority of Kenyans will vote to reject BBI if a referendum is held on the constitution amendment as a poll. The latest poll shows that 19% of Kenyans would vote yes on the referendum question, according to the survey. And then according to the survey, which was conducted, I think, on Monday, that BBI has more supporters among ODM members compared to Jubilee and UDA. The survey continues by saying that the survey was done through a telephonic interview conducted with respondents whose contacts were controlled through a face-to-face. Therefore, it was like a home-based interview. Now, it continues by saying that it indicates that 50% of the population believe that Mr. Raila Odinga supports the bid just to increase his chances of being president, among many other submissions they made. They also gave the presentation that Northeastern has the highest number of people who are rejecting it, followed closely by Central, then Eastern. Rift Valley is third, and then that is on those who are opposing it. And then those who are supporting it, Nyanza leads with over 50%, then followed closely by Coast. Nairobi is almost a 50-50, and then Western is there. So basically, it is a divide right at the center. So I want to begin with who wants to take on this. Do I begin with you, Tom? What do you make of Tifa's finding that 19% of our Kenyan population, given that it's a sample, that 19% would give a nod to BBI, while 31% would actually oppose it? We have another population of around, let me give you the population that is undecided. The undecided is around 15%. So what do you think, sir?
Jake, 1 minute, please. I beg to leave because me, I'm not good when it comes to politics. So I'll be on the background. I do follow anyway, but you know that, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Right, let me give somebody else. I might be denying somebody else who can contribute, you know?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. All right, guys. You have a good time and have a good night.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you,
night.
Jane.
Thank you.
Tom, go ahead. Take on this. What's your take on this?
Okay, thank you, Jex. First of all, I don't generally like opinion polls that are held in such a haphazard manner, because partly they're saying it is held probably, I think, virtually. That's what you're insinuating.
Yeah.
And when it is virtual, then that means that the sample is mainly random. And then it's very difficult when you say somebody is from Northeastern. Then is this somebody who is actually staying in Northeastern, or somebody who is originally from Northeastern but is staying in Nairobi or Kisumu? So those are the dynamics that you may not be able to know, as opposed to you going to Northeastern and getting somebody staying there and asking the questions. So, but that's here nor there, because I think at least we have something to start with. And I think the general idea is that BBI is unpopular, regardless of how you look at it. The percentages may vary, but at least one thing we know is that it is majorly unpopular. The undecided will always be, majorly we are assuming that the undecided will shift predominantly towards the popular side, the side that is having a higher percentage. Now, having said that, there are two issues to this BBI. There is the legal aspect, and then we have the moral aspect. When we talk about morality, it is, what is your view? You know, do you like it or you don't like it? You have read it, or somebody has given you an idea about it, whether it is Raila, Ruto, Uhuru, or whoever. Somebody has come to you and told you that BBI is bad because it will add positions, you know. So you create. So you see, if you look at it morally, then you see BBI is bad because in your mind it's going to add positions. But if you look at it legally, adding position is not necessarily illegal. So those are the two things that we need to distinguish. So I think what this research is trying to communicate is that the leaders need to really take a stock take. And I think hearing what Raila Odinga was saying today, I think one of the biggest mistakes that Raila and Uhuru have made is that, specifically Uhuru, I think Uhuru has left Raila to be the only one who is seen as the face of this BBI, and because of that, it is very easy to attach Raila to 2022, because if as late as today, Raila is still saying reggae will not stop, and the court has said 20th is when they will be giving a ruling, and that has catastrophic effect on the possibility of a referendum before 2022. So people are looking at him and saying, what is this man saying? Uhuru is quiet. And the worst part of it is that even if Uhuru speaks about it, all his troops seem to be abandoning the ship. You know, the Jubilee ship is sinking. So you look at it and wonder, it is not a surprise that it's ODM supporters and probably Nyanza and Coast that seem to be supporting BBI. Even the Kambas are not so much enthusiastic about it. The Kalonzos are quiet because they are wise. They are reading the mood. You see, Mudavadi is not very much enthusiastic about it. Wetangula, they are quiet.
Tom, just
because
one moment.
They seem to be...
Tom, there's someone who is asking, can everybody hear Tom? Wekesa Nelson, can you hear him clearly? Because me, I can hear him. Can
It's
you hear
very
him?
clear.
Yeah, Duke
It's
is
very audible.
raising. Yeah, you're okay. Go ahead, because someone was saying you're not well clear, but I think you are. But go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you.
Sorry,
So
I
as
just
I
needed.
was actually concluding, I was saying that if you look at the people who are supposed to be really supporting this movement, okay, I do not, of course, I'm not saying that BBI cannot go through. In fact, I actually believe that if the court did not, that's why I brought the moral aspect and the legal aspect. If there were no legal hurdles to this BBI, I can tell you BBI would have passed. That is most likely, because it is very easy to toy with people's emotions.
Okay.
It's very easy to play with people's emotions, and people will change and support BBI, because if you saw, Uhuru called people his backyard, and the Central Kenya spoke in one voice, and it was passed in the assembly. So it would have been it might have been a little difficult, but I have this feeling that it would have passed. But because of the legal hurdles, it is becoming clear to many people, even those who are undecided. People are beginning to see that, because it is getting a lot of negative media attention.
Okay.
And people are beginning to see that it is not necessarily a good thing. And because the people who are supposed to support it are quiet about it, because they know the legal implications of supporting it, so it is becoming a big challenge. So it's in my view, it's a dead and done thing.
Okay. Before I come to you, Ekes, allow me to salamia Mr. Mulumbu. Mr. Mulumbu, how are you, sir? How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good to see you too, guys. I think you are doing great.
I can see jinsi siku zinavyosonga ndivyo unazidi kuwa youthful.
Sasa utafanyaje bwana? Hii ndio siku kama Waswahili wanasema Juma ponda mali kama kufa kwaja.
Sawa jamaa. Okay. Sawa. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah,
Okay. So just hold on. I'm coming to you. Someone here by the name Jerry Carlson. One, I want to appreciate you especially because umekuwa to follow and you highly support us in your comments and all. If umekuwa offended, I allow us to say we are sorry. Nelson didn't mean any harm. I'm sorry. I'm even talking on behalf of Nelson. So we appreciate your contribution and your sentiments. You have a right to say all you say. So continue following us. And if you're offended in any way, allow us to send our apologies in a very special way. Nelson, I'm sure you didn't mean what you said, but anyway, allow me not to come back to you to say sorry. Okay, sir. Now let's come to the opinion poll. What do you think, sir? This poll says that 19% says that whatever is happening is they agree, but 31% vehemently says no. What do you think, sir? Do you first agree with Tifa's finding, and if so, if you don't, why?
I have never disagreed with the opinion polls, even when they are wrong.
Okay.
Yes. I normally say every publicity is good, even when it's negative.
Okay.
One, I will begin by saying 19 is a very good percentage. Why? Look at the timing. Somebody just did a polling when BBI is going through a hurdle, and everybody has pronounced.
Don't you think it has reduced? Kangata had given it 20. It's now at 19.
Wait, I'm developing my point. I'm saying now,
I was making fun. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, I'm saying it's on its deathbed, waiting to be buried, but still someone gives it 19%. That's good. It means there is an irreducible minimum. Even if everything goes, there are people who will stand with it up to the end.
Okay.
One thing I know is that if there will be a ruling on 20th August.
Yeah.
Supposing the ruling will be made and they give it a green light, ask the same person to do a polling just after the green light.
Then it also lays another.
Why am I saying that? Why am I saying that?
Just a moment. Even as you allude to the same, don't you think it will also bring another constitution debate, given that the constitution still says, because whatever is happening, this is a constitutional engagement happening in the Court of Appeal. Don't you think they'll also be subjecting themselves to another court battle on a constitutional issue the amendments that can be brought are near to the election. Do you think it's also another? I don't know. I don't want to preempt, but what do you think?
My argument even is just based on opinion poll, not on the legal handles. I'm saying now, if it's given a green light, you see, most people, have you ever seen when even teams play? Most people don't like supporting a losing team. They even begin to look like they were not supporting that team.
Okay.
But the moment it scores, you realize. Even the DP himself showed us 3 times that he was on off BBI. Then the time he saw that it's actually singing, that's where he came out forcefully and he supported. But at the time when it looked like it was going through, most people said, we have never, who said I've ever supported BBI? So that is how people behave. Most of the time when they see something is losing, that it appears it will lose, only a few people are willing to carry something even up to the grave. So 19% is a good percentage for those who will stand with BBI up to the end.
Okay. Nelson, what do you think? What is your take on Tifa's opinion? 19% yes, 31 no. We have a whole huge chunk of undecided, which nationally is at 15%. What do you think?
To begin with, I simply said that our sister Njeri has a lot of content that I think can be useful for us in the studio, other than posting 250 comments. But anyway, if she doesn't want to come live, there is no problem. And if at all that didn't rub well with her, I'm a gentleman. My dad taught me to apologize. Apologies, Njeri. Back to the point.
Okay.
You said whose opinion?
Tifa, exactly. An opinion firm. Yeah.
Exactly. They remain Tifa's opinion. Number 1. Number 2, opinion polls in this country, in as much as I agree with Wekesa that any popularity, whether negative or positive, is good for both parties, opinion polls in this country can never be trusted. Number 3, I'm still struggling. I don't know whether my understanding of the word popularity is still beneath the linguistic requirement of its true generic meaning.
Okay.
Because Kangata said BBI is not popular in Central. And someone is also saying, Tom also said that BBI is not popular. So I don't know what they mean by popularity, because for you to ask somebody, am I popular or not popular? And then that person will tell you.
Just one moment, Nelson. Milka, you have 2 studios. Tom, yeah, just remove one so that we can have someone else coming in your place. But okay, thank you. Nelson, go ahead. Kidogo tu Milka will come back to you.
Yeah. Yes, I was saying that literally, or rather ideally, or technically, if you ask somebody somewhere that, do you know Nelson? And then they have an idea of what to tell you, whether they know Nelson but not into details, already they know Nelson. Leave alone the details, you know Nelson. So if at all we're talking about popularity of this bill, then even the people who are responding that it is not popular in themselves or among themselves, they are lying, because they know about it. They have an idea about it. It's only that they don't know it into details. Anyway, what do I make of whatever purported opinion is concerned? It is true that, yes, Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, let me not call his name, the president has left the former PM to be sort of the face of BBI. And Tom said the truth, that it has remained to be something that he is the one who stands to benefit at the end of the day come 2022. And that's why he's still in a position to say that reggae, nobody can stop reggae. Now, this has been my understanding for a very long time, so far as this thing is concerned. I've always felt that the president, from the onset, was using a BBI as a tool to contain Raila to have a peaceful leading and ruling time.
Okay.
That is why I'm saying that it will be so difficult even for the referendum to be held in this country, because you remember even Duke started with a point which really made point that there is no referendum that can be held in our country as per the constitution, as per our election rules are concerned, that a referendum cannot be held 1 year to the general election. Okay. Now look at the systematic way through which the president and his cronies have been twisting and even playing the BBI tunes. First, when everything was okay and it had been passed from within the county assemblies, there came a complaint about Kibicho, that Kibicho and the likes wanted this thing to be passed in the parliament and no referendum, blah blah blah. That there were no funding for the BBI secretariat, the likes of Junet. You know, the people talked like, ODM was almost bolting out. You remember in the process, during the time that Raila fell sick of COVID, almost immediately when he got well, the president had to go to Karen to fetch him, take him to State House to address the people. Okay? Why? Simply because in the process, he felt like, huyu mzee anaweza jua mpango yangu na yeye. Look, let me tell you, anybody following and anybody a strong supporter of Raila and Ruto, it is much more even easier for the president to make it up with his deputy than and lose Raila Odinga after the BBI thing is done away with and his tenure for the second time is done away with, than any other thing to happen. Because if you look at it, it's like all his cronies and handlers are just directing this thing to like prolong to huyu mzee tumcontent. Of course, there is no one in this country who doesn't know that Raila loves nothing but power and allocation and priority, you know, plus his age. What is he living for? So it has always been my thought and opinion, of course I'm entitled to it, and any other person can also bring another argument, that this BBI bill has always been a tool to contain Raila Odinga till the end of the tenure of the president. And maybe after that, the president will decide what to do with him, or what to do with the ODM as a whole, or what to do with the proponents of BBI.
Okay,
But
Nelson,
let us not forget again.
Can I ask you this? What happens? Because in business we say a sole proprietor enjoys all profit and also enjoys all losses. You're saying that at the moment what has been on sale is what Raila has been pushing. What do you think would be of him if he were to lose the case in the appeal court and even the Supreme Court? What would it mean for him politically? Would it be used as a tool to really slay him?
Let me answer you in another way. I think Raila should be so much focused with getting, or rather, you know, training someone to take over from him, because politically he is weak already. Like, he's old. Like, I would say he has gotten to his saturation point. Okay. And what would happen if he loses? How many times has he lost? What normally happens? He has his strategies and plan Bs of keeping afloat in the political arena. Probably maybe we'll fall back to the other one, which maybe is now going to refer as plan C or plan F or plan K. So he has always lost elections. He has always lost court battles, and it has not always been the stop of his, endeavor or other processes or other political activities and games. So, so far as what happens if he loses in the BBI, or rather even realizes that he was being used as a tool to contain him or anything, he always has his plans on and means through which he sails through and bounces back to the game. So he's a master. He's a master. So he knows what he will do.
Okay, I'm coming back to you with another part of that question, but Simon Dongo, before I go to Milka, Simon Dongo, tell me, what do you think of the TIFA's opinion poll generally?
For me, the opinion poll it's accurate. Actually, if you go to As for me, just do your own survey. For example, if you ask most of your friends, like almost 10, 8 out of 10 will not be supporting BBI. That's what I've found out, that it's so unpopular because, number one, all people are asking themselves, is BBI a priority for now? Because what is bothering people is how do we get jobs, how to improve our businesses, because businesses in Kenya, it's like it's very difficult to do business in Kenya. Number one, because the policies, number one, are bad. And the policies that we don't know in the BBI, there is no policy. I've read that document. There is no policy that I've seen that will improve our business. Instead, it's just that one. You know how they trick us youths? That they'll give us tax breaks. There's nothing. Tax breaks for 7 years or what, I don't remember, but that is just a decoy for that youths can support the BBI. That's how this
According to
government
you,
is just.
Ndongo, do you think the devil is in the details?
Yeah, it's in the details. You know what they do? You know what they do? Like, for example, the way they tricked the MCS for Central to support it. They told them they'll give them car grants for 2 million. Who will refuse that?
Nobody.
And you know MCS, nobody. So they usually use a decoy so that you can support it. But actually, when they enter power, nothing is being implemented. Just look, for example, the Jubilee Manifesto. How many stadiums did they promise us? How much has been done?
Tusiende hapo hata.
You see now. So they usually use a decoy. We support them. Then when it comes to implementation, zero.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's that thing is unpopular. BBI, it's true. That poll is true.
Okay. Milka, what do you make of the polls, the TIFA polls that was carried out, I think on Monday, as they say, and they say 19% would vote no if the votes were to be carried out on the referendum issue, and 19 would vote yes, 31 would vote no. What do you think, Milka?
So I apologize for earlier on. I had network issues.
It's okay, we understand.
Wait first. Thank you. I would like to be given permission because we were all talking at once. Then
It's okay.
before I could
go ahead.
So what do I start with? I start with your current question.
Please do, then go to what you wish to say.
So according to the polls, Kenyans are somehow hypocrites because we can start with everybody in Kenya knows there is something called BBI. What we can say is the leaders have not, or the people who know the constitution into details have not taken the initiative to educate what the document is all about. So those are two different things.
Okay.
You know this is a book, but you don't know what is inside the book. So everybody knows there is something called BBI, but they don't know in depth what is inside the BBI. And that's what is causing more of the confusion. Second, it's all about tribalism. The leaders who are leading, they lead with tribalic issues. We cannot deny that. So about the poll, I can tell you that is just BS, to be honest, because everybody knows the BBI, but they don't know what is inside, so they don't know what to choose in between of it. And about the issue of the vaccine. Mr. President asked me, what do Africans have? Okay, we Africans, we have we're very superior compared to white people. And that's why whites are scared of us. Let me answer that. Secondly, I said the vaccines which have been sent here have not yet been tested. I said that because I didn't talk about Bill Gates. I didn't talk about this other what are you calling it? This thing you're talking. I just said according to what I know, and according to the research that is being done, the vaccine that is being sent to Africa is not yet tested.
Milka, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are you a medic?
Am I?
A medic?
No, I'm not, but I can read and write.
Please, let's go step by step. You're not a medic?
Yes. I'm not
are
a
you in
medic.
the research? Are you in the research field so far as the new trends of COVID, blah blah blah, is concerned?
Yes, I research a lot about it.
Okay, fine. Well, we had surpassed the topic, but then I understand your point and argument and everything. Now, Jake.
Yes, sir.
There is this guy calling himself BBC 50.
Yeah.
He has attacked the person in me, like he has called me to be small-minded. And there is somebody as well. We have a platform which is so good where we are supposed to be educating each other and also encouraging each other. And Jerry is good, but I can read toxicity so far as tribalism is concerned in her. And just to remind BBC 50, I said Raila has lost simply because in every election that I'm a Luo, by the way, in every election that we purportedly say that we win, when we move to the court of law, we lose. And when we get out and he says that when he loses, we'll be having a plan B, he never gets back to us with that plan B. So either way, at the end of the day, he accepts that he has lost, okay? But reading Jerry's comments, Jerry sounds so tribalistic, and he has a pure and inward hatred to the personality of Raila Odinga. I think in all our comments and in all our contributions, we should be so much objective. We should be like, we are the people to end tribalism among our generation and even the future generation, unlike our parents and our forefathers. So we have to, first of all, copy our jiranis, our neighbors, the Tanzanians, undugu. In Tanzania, there is no tribe. There is undugu na utanzania. So I think we need to embrace that in our discussions, because I see it. I'm a bit I think the reason as to why I will be in a position to sense these things is because I'm a literature person. The literature people are so sensitive so far as communication is concerned. And at some point, we end up even becoming petty because simply we pay attention to what Jake is saying and to what Jake said and how Jake has arrived into that. I think that is what I needed to put across. And I was also humbly asking if I could exit so that I can catch some sleep. I have an early morning tomorrow.
It's okay. We are almost actually winding up because we started late. So we have that challenge as well. So we will have to do most of the discussions tomorrow. But anyway, before we even call it a day, I wanted to bring in Milka. Milka, I don't know if you're through with your submissions. Okay. Ndongo, do you have something you can say as we even come to a close on this? Because tomorrow we promise to start early. We also promise to have a lot of things to discuss. We will prepare so that we have a decent engagement.
What I can say to me, for us, I'll pray that my prayer is that this BBI should not pass. Let's just have the constitution as it is. Come next, we choose and then when we go to the elections, let's choose people who know what they are doing, because this parliament the current parliament have gone through all their debates. There's no policies that they have passed that will surely help us, because if you look at the tax regime, surely it's hurting Kenyans. Yeah, everything has gone up. So the next parliament that comes in should focus more on policies that will help improve the local economy. The Kadogo economy, the one they call Kadogo. There's the middle class, there's the upper class. So they have to start from the Kadogo to middle to upper class. They should come up with policies that will help the Mwananchi. For me, BBI will not help the Mwananchi, but the policies and implementation will help Mwananchi. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Sorry guys, someone is saying I have network issues. Hadikesho, good night. Sawa Wangari. Benson, brother Benson, allow me to ask you to join us maybe tomorrow. Leo tunataka kufunga mapema because we have some serious commitments somewhere. The other thing is we need to allow the panelists to rest because of tomorrow. I'm sure there's a lot that will happen tomorrow that we'll need to talk about. Of course, there are other debates that we have that we'll need to talk about. We have the meeting between Raila and Matiang'i, among many other things, yeah? So allow us to call it a day. Maybe Milka, if you're there. I don't know. Jacoredo, can you hear me? Jacoredo, uko nyuma ya tent ama uko nyuma kabisa? Clinton, can you hear us? Okay, Nelson, what are your closing remarks? And maybe if you can end it with a word of prayer.
Wow, it has been long ever since I prayed. My son normally pray for me, man. But anyway, I will figure out my way.
Just copy paste what he prays and then pray.
My closing remarks are very simple. One, I appreciate the trajectory that we have taken as a people so far as democracy and rights of expression is concerned. That is what we just saw in the appellate court during the hearing of BBI appeal judgment, the judgment that came from the Superior Court. I really do appreciate that personally. Secondly, it is my wish and prayer that not the side of those who are just opposing with no reasons of opposing, and not the side of those who are proposing and with no absolute reasons of proposing, simply because Baba has said, Kalonzo has said, and Uhuru has said maybe. It is my wish and prayer that at the end of the day, the common Mwananchi, the Wanjiku, the Atieno, the Kiprotich and Kipto somewhere will get justice. And what does this justice stands for? That the right priority will be taken to the right place and at the right point of time. That will be my that is my prayer, because honestly speaking, we are suffering, bro. And again, they should now take more charge so far as bringing control and COVID management into the limelight than even this BBI thing. This BBI will be there, and COVID can kill you, and you won't be there to vote for them. If they care about us, let them get us off the hooks and the dangers of COVID-19 first, so that we can be in a position to make an informed decision so far as supporting or not supporting BBI is concerned. That is my wish and prayer. So maybe if I can close with a word of prayer, that is it. We're praying. Almighty Father, above, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for everything. We thank you for the fact that you have even given us sound minds to think, to reason, to engage, and to advise each other. We thank you for the platform. We thank you for absolutely even the life that you have given unto us. How we pray that you can as well magnify and as well open the minds of our leaders to start thinking about us, the common wananchi of this country, and stop thinking about themselves, so that, Lord, they can see and they can have the wisdom that you gave Moses, the wisdom that you gave King David, and at the end of the day, present and rule us with nothing but total fear and acceptance of your words and your ways. All that I pray for is just peace. All that I pray for is just your guidance. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray, trust, and believe it.
Amen. Amen. Before you go, allow me to wish special thanks to people who joined us. Thank you for always making it a good day and a good show. Thank you, Nelson, Jerry. You have been good. We thank you so much. Wow. Thank you for all your contributions. Umekuwa poa sana. Thank you, Night Wangare. Asante sana. Thank you, Joseph Pogisho. We thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Brother Benson. Hope to see you tomorrow. BBC 50, thank you for always being part of us. Jane Mabel, thank you so much. Jerry says she loves commenting more than being part of the show directly, but
then
okay.
She's passionate of commenting.
Yeah, she is, and we love that she has always made time for us. Thank you, Mr. Evo. We see you. You are part of us. Asante sana. I see the many who joined us. Street Harry Historian, we saw you. Thank you, sir. Kiprono Rogers, we thank you for being part of us. Dan Rai, you wanted to join us, but it's okay. We'll have you tomorrow. Thank you, Alan Olo. We saw you briefly, but ukapotea, but thank you for being part of us. We want to thank you, especially Mr. Haron Nyangweso, for being part of us as well. You guy, you have been our guy. You guy, our guy. Thank you. We got this other guy by the name of Titus Yota. Thank you so much for being part of us. Wisdom Rationalization, sorry. We thank you for being part of us as well. We are grateful that you chose to join us in the way that you did. Dubajilo, thank you so much. PGR, thank you so much. Mudes Bay, thank you so much. This other person by the name Justine Mwambi Mishimo, thank you so much. G Mwangi Thuo, we see you. Asante sana. Daniel Kimani, we see you. Thank you. And Julie Koech, among many who sent their contribution via text, and to the panelists that made way, we thank you for joining us. It was wonderful. We are grateful. Thank you so much. We are thankful to you. Dennis Omwemo, umekuja hapa mwisho mwisho. We do this tomorrow from 8. We will try to be punctual on time and all. We will have in a show motto. Tomorrow we'll have a good show. We'll have enough topics to cover. Join us tomorrow. We'll do this tomorrow. The links will be there and all. So have a good day. As Nelson has said it. No, I'm in Nakuru.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bwana Mataila, make a note Bwana oversuit. Mataila, I tell a good suit.
Yeah, I saw you. I follow you huku nyuma ya tent. Naonanga vile unatoa vitu moto. Tutakufuata, by the way, unda tu poster, tutaku advertise huku nyuma ya tent.
Good.
By the way, kabla tumalize show, unaweza jimarket kidogo, tuambie how to get you, what you do and all. Chapa advert moja kali.
To everyone watching still, the backyard audience, I'm a tailor basically, or a fashion designer, so to speak, maybe in brackets, so that at least it sounds some tastier. I go by the name The Serious Tailor on Facebook, on Instagram, and I also have my company is known as Logical Clothing. We specialize on outfits. We really care about your image. We make you look good. We make ladies suits, men's suit, kids suits, African outfits, roller show outfits, wedding attires. Even if you have a burial ceremony and you'd want your entire family to look like, speak some language, same language of solidarity, we do
Karibu nidhani
everything
unataka
textile
kusema
oriented.
ati ingawa dhani unataka kusema ati kama unadhani utakufa soon unaweza shona suti, sorry. Well, anyway, sorry for that bad joke.
So I have a number
So
that
umesema
anybody
inaitwaje?
listening can take. I don't mind whether it goes public because it's already public. 0727
So namba ya job umesema ni?
0727
Aha.
678
Aha.
190.
Okay, kindly repeat.
0727 678
Mhm.
190. For those who are abroad, plus 254 727 678 190 plus 254 727 678 190.
Kuna special offer for Mtembei family ama utatuchapa design ya
Kuna special offer for Mtembei family. You just simply mention the word Mtembei. That is the promotional code. And Jakodera pia.
sawa sawa, I'll definitely do so. Kwa mavazi moto na mitindo ya
But then
kisasa ya mavazi.
I might be in Nakuru this weekend. Maybe
Aha.
tomorrow naweza lala Nakuru, Sunday naweza spend Nakuru ndio nirudi Nairobi.
Sasa juu unakuja na goodies za wenyeji, utatubaia nini? Wanasemanga mgeni njoo mwenyeji apone. Unapanga kunipeleka nje unitese ama?
Tutajua nyuma ya tent.
Pole, mi napenda kujikampeinia sana. So otherwise, good people, thank you for joining us. We always do this every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and maybe when the need arises. We had it yesterday, today, tomorrow will also be in. Thank you so much. To anyone who wishes to advertise via Mtembei, we are planning to make this a great show that we can also promote ourselves. We can only build ourselves, yeah? So feel free to join us and contact us via this link and other links, and also WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp group and all. So you can feel free to send us your contacts. We can find a way to make you part of this lovely, beautiful family. From us in studio and those at home, we wish you a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye. Kidogo tu we end the show.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everything. I think it's late, itabidi tulale. Alafu tuanze tena kesho. Kwa wale ambao mmekuwa nasi mpaka midnight ama saa 7 za usiku, kina Dennis Omweno, Lakoko Tepik, Joseph Pogisho, Njeri, Brother Ben, Knight Wangari na wengine wote, asanteni sana. Tuonane kesho bana. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your participation. Asanteni na mlale poa popote mlipo. Bye. Bye bye for now.